Everyone do the cheer.
Yay.
All right, so last session, you guys had continued infiltrating Grudd Haug, the steading of the hill giants, and you'd sort of explored these lower caves in which Grudd Haug is built on, and you discovered this massive pig farm. You'd killed this hill giant butcher and rescued a few people, and then you did a bit of looting as well, and then decided to just sort of retreat and recoup. That you guys did, and you returned the next day to continue your assault. You'd notice that the hill giants had up their defenses and their scouting a little bit, probably led by these hobgoblins, most likely, as one of them was sort of perched on this precipice, riding on the back of a wyvern. You guys sort of made your way through that first frontline defense, and also a group of bugbears had also sort of ambushed you guys in the main foyer. You'd made your way through into the actual main steading, and you were faced with quite a formidable force. There were 5 male hill giants, as well as Chief Gar sitting on this like this 20,000 pound hill giant sitting on this massive wagon wheel with buckled wheels. And there's also ogres, goblins, and hobgoblins, and there's quite a lot of them. You guys sort of ran in, but quickly found yourselves overwhelmed, so you guys hastily retreated. And we ended the session with you guys being chased out of Grudd Haug, and you're currently out the front. One of the hill giants had managed to roll the rock back in front of the entrance, but an ogre had slipped out before that, and he is chasing you guys. So we'll just go around with everyone's sort of statuses. Thomas, you're concentrating on fly, and you've got 1 charge of your mirror image left. Rend,
I think actually I'm concentrating on banish the flights from pixie dust.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's right. You're concentrating on banishment. You've managed to banish 2 of the male hill giants, and you got the pixie dust going. Rend, you had a very lucky escape. If it were not for that nat 20, then I cannot see any way that your character would have made it out there alive. But you're alive, and you're raging, and you're just sort of running out of the steading now. Roderick, you're concentrating on Hunter's Mark. Lily, you've got your Blade Song on, and you've got Blink active, and also you're still concentrating on the Sleet Storm. And Than, you've got a spiritual weapon like somewhere. You could have dragged it with you when you guys fled. So let's just roll initiative straight away, because there's this one ogre, one of these chain brutes that have pursued you guys at the front of the steading. And he's just sort of running after you guys, and you can just hear Chief Gar just groaning and moaning, her guttural voice just sort of shaking the entire steading, just barking out orders. Giant. Alright, Thomas, you're up first.
Try to cast a spell and it says bloop bloop bloop.
Yep, you've also got pink bubbles coming out of your mouth.
Out of here, and then I'll dash. There, giving him a wide berth. Just keep concentrating.
Okay. Lily.
Let's see. I'm gonna charge forward and swing that longsword at this guy.
All right, you aim for the legs, and you hit.
Miss.
What was a hit? And yeah, you just sort of slash the ogre straight along the Achilles heel, and his tendons and blood just sort of splatter out, and the ogre, he just roars in agony as he sort of collapses onto one knee. You swing again, and that is another hit. Sort of thrusting the longsword down this time. You only just managed to sort of clip him, but it just caused a gash along his face, and he's pretty hurt.
Oh, and then I just disappear.
Okay. Go into the ethereal plane. Man.
I will toll the dead on him. Yeah, toll the dead on him. And see how that goes.
Alright, he fails, and he just moans very, very loudly, just sort of yelling questions in giant back towards the steady. What do I do now? They're killing me!
Okay, I don't think my spiritual weapon can reach him, so I will suppose move up to there, and my turn.
Alright, this ogre runs forward, and he's got like a chain just sort of looped around his shoulder, and he's just sort of unfurrowing it, and as he runs up towards Rand and Roderick, he takes this massive chain and he just swings it in like a 30-foot arc, and just straight across both of your legs. And the hook on the end of the chain just pretty much, it gets caught back here on the rock, and he tries to pull it, and he just ends up just basically spraining a muscle. And he keeps on yelling back to the steading, and he's not really getting any response either. Rend.
Alright. Ren's a little angry. So, Reckless and Great Weapon Master Attack.
Alright, Rend. As this ogre is whining,
Oh wow.
you just come over and you sink the axe straight through his skull, and he's dead. I'm gonna break initiative for now. That could change very, very quickly, though. You know, there is a full house of angry goblinoids and giants just beyond a rock.
Continuing away.
And wave my hand.
Okay. Alright, you guys run, and you sort of just run off to the east. There is actually a 20-foot tall palisade enclosing the actual Grudd Haug, and as you guys sort of reach the threshold of that, if one of you look back, you'll see a couple of ogres with these bolt launchers slip through the rocks, but they don't pursue you any further. They just sort of like shake their fists and yell angrily at you guys, and you move away from Grudd Haug.
All right.
Good riddance.
Do you mean Grudd riddance? Alright.
Oh, that was fun.
That definitely could have went better.
Once you guys pretty much leave the threshold of the palisade and put a couple of miles in between you and the steading, you feel relatively safe now. You can catch your breath. You also realize Zindra did not make it out the steading.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her.
Yeah.
It was all those concussions I took during that fight.
Don't worry, you don't have to roleplay your deepest sympathies and mourn over her. I'll just presume you're all doing it now. You're just bawling your eyes out as you guys are running.
Yeah.
There goes the +1 longbow again. You guys are running and you're like, no, we left something behind.
I was using that.
Yeah, thanks for
because I had switched to it for the
the hobgoblin. I think after that you took it back.
There's a big sigh of relief when everyone realizes that the magic longbow is safe.
Oh no, the bow. I'm like, no guys, I got it here.
Just for the record,
We need to go back for the bow.
I was opposed to giving NPCs any magical weapons, just for the record, from the get-go, pretty much.
So as you guys move away, what did you guys think of that situation?
We'll be
that
back
was
when
a
we're
bit
level
dangerous.
20.
Yeah, hill
no,
giants.
no.
They're not very
Talk-
smart, and they're not very organized. But
Yeah.
they had numbers,
Shit.
and they're strong. They're big.
They were very organized.
The hobgoblins organizing.
Something.
Yeah.
They even had ranged archers up there in the.
Oh yeah, they were
Banisters.
strategically placed for a beautiful.
Did you guys go talk to the dragon, the green dragon, about how to deal with it?
No, we might want to do that.
No.
No.
I don't know. I don't.
We didn't.
So-
We thought maybe we'll talk to the dragon later.
Yeah, that's over at Crypt Garden Forest. Over here. Part 2 of
So the guy
Naxine's
thought
quest.
the green dragon might be able to help with us. I think.
Certainly
We
couldn't
found their
hurt.
numbers.
Or we rest a few days before attempting that thing again.
I am keen to just try planting seeds and see what happens there.
Oh yeah,
Where?
we got the bag of.
beans.
Plant them where?
Just like get onto the roof or something and plant a seed and hope it's someone's a pyramid, which is probably actually worse than the giants, but you know.
That'd be a
Might.
risky venture.
Yeah.
Hope you're
But
very
funny if
stealthy.
it works.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You should just give one to Thomas. He can fly it over real quick. Like maybe.
Oh, is he still flying? I could go at night. I could go by myself at night because I'll be invisible
Yeah.
and get myself murdered.
Yeah. We may
That'd
not
be
ever
funny.
see you again, so
I mean, you wouldn't see me. You won't see me at night anyway.
it's
Um,
true. Good point. Good point. But you know, elves, they have keen ears. I can hear you, my friend. You might be
Yeah, there's
invisible.
Well, pass
But I
without
can
trace
hear
as
you.
well. Can take
And-
my armor off, pass without trace, walk in, plant all the seeds, run away, hope for the best or worst.
That's cool. Just get naked and just go with the seeds.
Yep. Get naked, spread my seed.
Plant your seed and go.
Yep.
It's the dwarven way.
So what's actually possible for this
How long
baby?
does it take for it to?
Takes a minute for it to grow.
1 minute.
So if you remove a bean from the bag, plant it in dirt or sand, then water it. Bean produces an
A
effect 1
minute.
minute later from the ground where it was planted. Can choose an effect, determine it randomly, or create an effect. So most of these things, like a bunch of these, aren't that useful. But like a geyser of water, beer, berry juice, tea, vinegar, wine, or oil. The tree ant sprouts. Immobile stone appears that tells everyone that I'm evil. Statue. Campfire with blue flames. 1d6 plus 6 shriekers. 1d4 plus 8 bright pink toads. When touched, it transforms into a large or smaller monster. Of the DM's choice. A hungry bullet. A fruit tree with a bunch of fruit that act as magic potions. Giant pyramid.
That one would be awesome.
Yeah.
For the oil.
As you guys are walking away, moving away from Good Haug, you come across a small stream where you could fill up your water skins, and there is a couple of tents, a campfire. There is a stone bridge, a small wall, and a bit of a grassy knoll with what looks like a ruined keep atop it. It's about 500 feet away, and you guys can see some humanoid figures moving about. It looks to be about 15 or so, and we feel like they're most likely Uthgard barbarians.
Are those the ones we fought last time?
Well, Uthgard barbarians, there are many tribes throughout Faerun,
That's probably different.
but you can tell that they're
Yeah.
wearing animal hides, and you can make a perception check to try and distinguish which tribe this is.
I'll have a look. Oh, nice. Be one.
All right, Dan, you sort of take a good look. You sort of just spy them, and sorry, Styrax, your mic is like making some constant noise.
I got a
thing.
fan there. Whoops.
No problem.
There we go. That'll.
All right, so yeah, you take a close look, and you notice many of these tribes people are wearing these antlers on their heads. Crowned antlers.
This is the Boar tribe.
Did you roll a 1?
All right, and a lot of them are just they look like they're just getting animals, starting fires, just hunting and gathering and whatnot. And a few of them spot you guys as well, because there's not a whole lot of obscurement in between you and them. And it looks like a few of them are making their way towards you guys.
I'll wave and yell hello.
Do they look like they're coming in hot, or just coming in to see?
They're moving up quite quickly. There's 3 of them. They're sort of quite low to the ground. They do have spears in their hands. And yeah, they're moving quite quickly. Only 3 of them though. Small portion of this tribe.
They're no friends of the giants, right? Usually.
No. They actually despise magic. But as far as that goes, giants don't use magic anyway. But I mean, they're pretty ruthless. They're barbarians. They usually just kill people, steal their stuff, and they're very territorial. You can make an insight check then. You can't tell from this distance if they're going to do anything hostile or not. There's 3 of them, and they're closing the gap. They're about 100 feet away now.
I yell it again. Hi, we're hunting giants. Have you seen any?
One of them sort of stops, and the other 2 stop behind them. They sort of crouch low to the ground, and one of them starts pointing at you, Thomas. And you recognize him, Thomas. It's Haug, the one that you saved from the steading.
Oh, that's good luck.
They make their way even closer to you, and the actual encampment is about still 500 feet away. So they just sort of come up to you, and one of them are sort of almost walking on all fours, just sort of, they walk a little bit sort of animalistic. One of them comes close to you, Thomas. Ah, Thomas.
Stay up.
It is
Like you made it home.
Yes. We're in the midst of a great feast, celebrations.
What are you celebrating?
My salvation. I have been spared. A meal.
Excellent.
Spared from becoming a meal. And he sort of comes right up to you, Thomas, and he's sort of looking around, and he has this bit of a gleam in his eyes, and he sort of almost hisses at Lily. And he sort of just raises his hand and sort of caresses your face, Thomas. Caresses the blood that he smeared on your face. Yes.
Cue the porn music.
Bow chicka wow wow.
You have freed me. I am in your debt. What can I do for you, Thomas? Do you need meat to shelter a fire?
I think we could use that. We've
Come.
been battling giants.
The tribe have just fell. Many bore. Tonight we feast. Your friends are hurt. I can smell their blood. Come.
Hold on.
Alright, he takes you guys back over to this encampment, and you see like they've got like a few tents set up, campfire. It's like a big pile of what looks like adventurers that they've killed. They just sort of piled them up on the ground. They've still got armor and some swords sort of just piled around here, all smattered in blood. There's a big pile of wood that they've chopped, and it looks like they're just using this abandoned and sunken tower keep as like a bit of a shelter. You notice one of these Uthgard shamans just sort of milling about inside, and the tribal warriors just sort of take you guys in, and they offer you some cooked meat. They let you sit around the fire, and they all seem a little bit sort of weary of you all, but Gryhawk says, Thomas, must use caution. Be sure to not use magic around my people. You will curse us, and then we will be forced to undo the curse with your blood. You understand this, Thomas?
I understand.
Yes. Now eat.
I see no magic.
Fireball!
The meat will heal your wounds, because that's how things work. Meat heals wounds. Alright, so you guys find a safe shelter to rest, and if you want to just hang out with the barbarians for the rest of the day and rest, you guys can all do that and take a long rest while you're in company of the barbarians. You won't have any random encounters at all, or encounter any denizens of the grasslands or the wilderness.
That seems like a good idea, considering how some of us are almost dead.
Yeah.
Alright, everyone take a long rest, and you need long rest button, or have you got it? There we
I
go.
don't have one.
Long rest button.
I have the button, but when I click it, nothing happens.
You have to highlight your
Bam.
token first.
There we go. Alright, you guys rest up, and the next morning they offer you some more food, and then they say, Thomas, we will move camp today. Too close to hill giants. We are worried that the orange skins will encroach upon us. Where will you head now, Thomas?
What's an orange skin?
The goblins that wear steel on their flesh, Thomas.
Yes, we killed some of them, but I think some were...
Yes. Smart they
The
are.
others.
Warriors they are. They may hunt us, they may track us. And we are with young. We must move from this place. Where do you travel, Thomas?
We haven't decided. We thought about going back and killing them. How does that sound to you?
Kill them? For what reason? They are no good for eating. They have their own territory. Many will die. For no reason.
Yes, they've been hunting our people and stealing food, so... But perhaps we may probably heading back that way from the sound of it. Yeah, guys, or were we gonna go try to talk to them?
Don't know what's best.
Well, unless we've got a
Yeah.
better strategy to assault that place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the bean idea, but otherwise we're gonna have to either find some allies or use some flaming sheep.
Yeah. Well, in Waterdeep there was that dragon expert that thought that the green dragon might have something to help with. Like the green dragon might be willing to help fight them.
Yeah,
Which
I've still got my potion
is a
of
nice
poison,
ally.
poison resistance.
Tell us your path, Tomas. If it lies in our territory, we can escort you to make sure that death does not find you, like I have escaped death.
Excellent. We're heading towards, what was it, the Worm Forest? Is that where the dragon's at?
Crypt Garden Forest.
Heading to the Crypt Garden Forest.
Tomas, we cannot go that far, for other tribes claim that territory, but we can take you to the edge of our territory. If you so wish, you will travel with us.
Appreciate it, my friend.
Where the land meets the river, we can take you, but no further.
Excellent. I'll have our thanks.
Alright. If you guys travel with the elk tribe, they'll take you pretty much to the Desserin River. It's let's see how far that is. They can take you to Womford. It's a 4-day journey. So you guys travel with them, and they just sort of forage and hunt along the way. You head sort of southwest. 4-day journey, so everyone can fill up their hit die. And you just after 4 days, they give any of the towns a wide berth. They just leave you guys. They say their goodbyes, and a couple of hours later, you arrive at this tiny little village along the Iron Road. It actually used to be known as Ironford until shortly after a dragon was slain nearby. And then passerbys begin to call the settlement Wormford. The name subsequently corrupted thanks to the thick local accent, and it ended up turning into Womford. Village has a dock on the Desserin River, shipping grain from its grits mill. You could get a barge from the Desserin River here as well, and you could use it to travel up or down the Desserin River if you wanted to. And yeah, there's also a market, the source of supplies for the surrounding farms from which the grain comes, but mainly like a farmer's market. I mean, it's only a small village, they don't really have any like major shops here. And aside from the mill, the village is just a handful of granaries and a larger handful of cottages, several which house tiny little shops where you can buy various trinkets. West of the village is the Ironford Bridge. It's a long, narrow, ramshackle wooden bridge that spans the Desserin River and leads to Barge Inn, which looms atop a hill. And Womforders usually lock and bar their doors and shutter their windows at night. You guys can get some accommodations here. Just a small inn, which is pretty much someone's house with some spare bedrooms in it. And they seem to be very happy to house some adventurers. So you just stay with this nice gnomish couple, and they don't even charge you guys. They give you dinner, and it's just this nice little mud brick cottage, and they sort of tell you this story over dinner. They lock and bar their doors, and they shutter their windows at night for fear of this so-called Womford bat. It's supposedly a nocturnal predator that snatches folk it can catch outside after dark. And yeah, the husband gnome just sort of He just sort of laughs it off. Ha ha! Just a story I use to get the kids to sleep. But then the wife is not so easily convinced. Oh no! I heard from old Gladys it snatched one of her third cousins. But we're so happy to have you here. Powerful adventurers like you, well, we can actually keep our windows open at night. Because you'll protect us. I know it. So
Absolutely.
Sounds like that needs to be dealt with.
Alright, you guys just sort of stay in these rooms. Maybe you do a watch in case this bat does attack. The windows are wide open, but throughout the night there's not even a peep. The town is just absolute dead silent at night. And yeah, you guys wake up the next morning, no killer bats or anything come, and you're ready to head out from Womford. Now they do have horses for sale here.
All right.
Just putting that out there.
Well, we do have a lot of money now to buy some more to leave up somewhere.
So to get to Crypt Garden Forest, as you guys pull out your map the next morning, you're just at like the breakfast table, and you take a look. The most logical path is to head west to Barge Right Inn, and then you could head up the Iron Road up to Red Larch, and then or just go overland. The overland journey, it's quite rough terrain. It'll take you guys about 5 days from Womford if you just sort of cut straight through to the Crypt Garden Forest.
Now, Barge Right In is where we're not allowed, right? That was the Zents
Wait.
that run that place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they kicked us out?
Yeah, they did.
yeah, because we didn't join them.
Like, you want to do some work for the Zentarum? We're like, yeah, no, we're good. Well, you can go sleep outside.
Yeah, they didn't seem too inclined to have you after that. You could always just get a barge down to Golden Fields, and then you could just continue along the river and use one of these tributaries of the river to just sort of expedite your journey. I mean, you're welcomed in Golden Fields. So,
Is there a path in the river that kind of goes close to Amphil?
it's yeah, the river cuts like it pretty much feeds into Amphale or close to it.
Yeah, I can't tell where it comes out at. Yeah, I mean, we can... I don't
Oh,
know.
I'm down for this if you want to sightsee in Amphill.
I was just thinking, trying to avoid the Barge Right In.
Alright, well,
Get
yeah,
that river.
there is a dock at Womford, so you can just get like a barge, like a merchant vessel that's heading up or down the Desern River if you guys want. And you could stop by Golden Fields and then travel west from there. It'll be like a few days journey, tops.
Sounds fine with me, if y'all are.
Alright, you guys head down there if you're happy to do that. You head down to the docks, and yeah, trade's pretty slow through Womford, but yeah, you can catch a merchant vessel, and you can either try and like just pay one of these merchants for passage, or one of you could attempt to try and get you guys like employed to act as guards for free passage, which is quite common along the Deseren. You just need to
talk him into it.
yeah, just make a persuasion check.
He's-
Alright, Thomas, you sort of do the talking, you go down there, no pink bubbles coming out of your mouth, which is nice. And you just sort of sell the party. You know, you're a powerful group of adventurers, you'd be just a fool not to have you guys on board. You're able mercenaries, and you'll protect the barge if it's attacked. They're just shipping some seeds down to Golden Fields. So, yep, you guys get aboard that barge, and a couple of days. Takes like 1 day to get to Golden Fields, and then you sort of just head down to this tributary near Amphail. You get off there a couple of days later, and they feed you as well, so you haven't had to pay for like any food or anything this entire time for this entire journey. And the next day you could it's like you could get to Crypt Garden Forest before sundown. You just sort of camp out at just a wayside inn, and so you guys head along just pretty much open land towards Crypt Garden Forest. But the locals at the wayside inn, they sort of warn you all. Oh, I wouldn't be going into that Crypt Garden Forest if I was you. No, 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 no. There be dragons there be.
So we've
That guy's got a point. We probably shouldn't mess with the dragon.
Well, we're looking for old Gnawbone.
we're looking for a dragon to talk to.
Oh, that'd be a bad idea, that'd be.
Nah, we think we have something for trade for him. Her. Yeah.
This is like an old dwarf dude, and he sort of says, "Oh wow, you'll be careful there. My ancestors used to live around there. We used to call it South Crypt, but that was hundreds of years ago now, and these days it's just the hunting ground of this big old dragon, as you know, Gnawbones. You wouldn't guess how she got her name then, lads."
No,
Guess
how?
you chew on bones.
Ah, you're a smart one. Aye, she's got a habit of gnawing on the bones of old kills, she does. I've heard a tale or two that she often has a mangulated corpse hanging from her mouth. But between this forest and the other one up near Westbridge, I wouldn't travel into any of them. You never know where she's gonna be. Both are popular hunting grounds. Oh, I just said us. I done said told you so. Ha ha! If you get eaten, can I keep that big shiny axe that the big man's got?
You'll have to come and get it.
Ha! How about you leave it with me for safekeeping, then, boy?
No, because we might run into some giants in the forest, so sorry.
Alright then. Well, she never gone give us any trouble over here in the Wayside Inn, so don't go bringing her back over this way.
Well, if you want a chance to get the axe, if you guide us there, if we fall, you'll know where the.
Oh, no, 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 no. I'm happy right here where I am.
All right.
Alright, with that, you guys leave. And you make your way to the Crypt Garden Forest. And it's quite a thick forest indeed. And there's you're just sort of entering from the east. There's not really any sort of particular direction to sort of head in from. I mean, it's just a forest. There are no trails leading into it. It looks like if they were, they've been completely covered up by time, and you just see these rows and rows of tall trees. So you guys head into the forest, and the canopy of the forest brings in like a lot of shade and a cool wind, and it's sort of still light sort of peering through the top of the canopy. I mean, it's not dark at all. It will be dark in a few hours though, because you've arrived sort of later in the day. And you start to find like there's like lots of sort of rock formations, just like smooth quarried rock. It looks like you've sort of stumbled upon some of these ancient dwarven ruins, and it's almost like you've entered like a forest cave. There's a spring nearby, which is nice. You can refill your water skins, have a quick break because you've been traveling all day, and yeah, you're just sort of entering like this, almost like a cave system now. Quarried rocks surrounding you, and the canopy of the forest sort of arching overhead to create a roof. And yeah, you just can see these ancient like Dethic runes on the ground that only a dwarf would understand. So Roderick, you can sort of check them out. So
I'll do that.
Cast
Let's
mage
see.
armor and dark vision on
Face
myself.
fainting.
sure.
Or is it just like graffiti? Because that happens as well.
This is that spring.
Like-
There's a few trees around. These are all actual trees, not bushes. And yeah, this is like one of these Dethic runes here that is just on the ground. And this is just me being bad with dynamic lighting. Ignore that. You've entered from the east, like over in this direction you've entered from. So you're making your way just...
Yep.
There doesn't seem to be... It seems to be pretty much like a straight path. You don't have that freedom of just sort of meandering through trunks of trees because these this quarried rock sort of just creates a tunnel.
Sure. Before going over there, I'd like to try using primeval awareness to see if there's dragons within a mile.
All right, use your primeval awareness, and yes, you do detect dragons within a mile of you.
So I tell people there's definitely dragons here of some sort.
Can you tell whether there's more than one? Or it's just
Kill
one?
them. No, I don't know.
Oh, it doesn't reveal location.
Yep, but definitely there is you sense dragons. You can sort of you put your ear to the ground, and yeah, it's like the soil speaks to you, and you just sort of attune to the surrounding natural environment, and you sense dragon.
Then I'd like to go over and check out this rune. I'll keeping a lookout for dragons.
All right, you take a
Maybe
look
we
at
should-
this Roderick, and it's just a
Yep.
very ancient, faded Dethic rune. It's actually just a rune for timekeeping,
Okay.
like almost like a sundial.
Does
Is
kind
there
of look like
enough
one.
light coming through for us for it to actually tell the time?
It's like there's no like spindle. It's just like a rune pressed onto the ground. You feel like this is like a foundation stone,
Okay.
and that's survived, hundreds of years, but it's just completely flat now, and like the surrounding grass is starting to encroach upon it. There's a few rodents scurrying around as well here. A few mammals, some birds chirping, and harmless forest critters just making their way through. It's a bit of a dark wood here as well. There's like a lot of tangled underbrush, but there seems to be a relatively open path. Like you don't have to cut your way through this area by any means.
Okay.
Let me bounce something off you guys.
And don't forget,
Rather than-
each one of you have a potion of poison resistance that was given to you in case things go bad.
Yeah, you might.
Did
Wanna
Thomas
make it-
mean that literally? Like, are you throwing things at it?
No, I've got it. I just want to throw this out there rather than. just
So you are throwing.
trespass unannounced. Maybe we should call out. I can use do the booming voice with an illusion. Say we seek the magnificent old knob bones or something.
Make a intelligence check, Thomas.
This will not go well.
If you do call out, say that we're here to negotiate.
All right, Thomas. So, your knowledge of green dragons, they possess the ability to speak to forest critters, and they use them as spies, for starters. And secondly, you're pretty sure the dragon would already know you're here because that's sort of Clawgalamita's thing. The whole reason that you're going to see this dragon is because she has a a collection of crystal balls that she uses to spy on everything, stay abreast of events happening in the world. So you can be quite certain that she already knows that you're here.
Right.
Well, I'll say out to no one in particular. Hopefully, our animal friends will hear it. We seek an audience with the magnificent old Gnawbone.
All right, you call out, and your voice just sort of echoes off this quarried stone, and it's just sort of met with birdsong and scurrying rodents. No response from any dragons.
Do you want me to try talking to these, or we can wait a bit then?
Do you want to? It's nighttime, right?
It's
What-
not nighttime yet.
maybe-
You've got a couple of hours left.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
Might be best to tell her what we're offering.
Yeah. Do we have a gift for her, or just that
Well,
we're...
I think we're
We're
just
dead.
telling her that we're trying to end the giants.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Wait, are we
we
trying to
shared-
end the
we-
giants, or were we
Yeah.
just trying to calm them down?
Problem with the giant. Yeah, we seek her wisdom in our quest to end the problems with the ordning and get the giants back to doing what they're supposed to.
Well, if we kill them, that does end the problem.
Yeah, but it also sounds a little like genocide.
Yeah, but like against the hill giants, it's fine, right?
All right. From the area sort of to your southwest, beyond the gloom of the forest, the many tangled brushes and trees, you just hear this very loud bestial growl.
Anybody hear a Harley?
No, it's not. It's like a bit of a guttural growl.
Does it sound like it's coming towards us or just staying still?
It just sort of resonates off from the distance, just once.
Right. Okay.
It's not like
we
a
could
constant
start
noise that's getting
making our way
closer or
over there.
further away.
Good start making our way over. You guys might want to keep your potions ready. As a dwarf, I have a poison resistance or dwarven resilience. So don't think the potion will do anything extra for me, but the rest of you.
Well, came to try to find her. Might as well.
I'll lead the way. There's a
Alright.
bunch of bones here.
Yeah, you move through into another section. Again, you just feel like you're stepping on the grounds of your forefathers, Roderick, but the forest has, nature has taken its place. You're still surrounded by like quarried rock. There's a small spring, and there are lots and lots of bones, massive piles of discarded bones against the north and west corners of this cavern.
So this one kind of looks like a dining room, perhaps, for a dragon. Maybe we should try meet her, like, not in the dining room.
Alright, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you guys are attacked. The trees have eyes. The trunks glow through dark holes in the branches. You're met with these two little green beady dots staring at you. And these woads, they just sort of step out of tree trunks. There are 4 of them. And they just resemble these sort of vague humanoid figures, these plant humanoids, with these 2 beady eyes, some sort of fungi growing on them, some moss, and they're made completely of wood.
Would you say they're plant animals or plant creatures?
Yep, they definitely are. And they have these like sort of gnarled and bent branches that constitute a shield, and then like another branch that constitutes a club. They look like this, and they just pretty much attack you guys. like instantly. They don't try to like parley or anything, and they do attempt to surprise you guys. So we'll roll initiative, and then I'll make their stealth check. All right. Let me see who is. All right, Roderick and Than. The two of you are not surprised. 4 of them just sort of emerge from these trees. So, Rand.
Well, then I'm gonna go rage so
Okay.
that I'm not surprised.
All right, yeah, you get a couple of hairs on the back of your neck stand up, Randy. You know something is afoot, and you look over and you soon see the trees coming alive.
You just like get pissed off when you think someone's watching you.
Pretty much.
I'm just focused too much on the pool to notice.
No, I'd say. Yeah. Oh. You got an axe. That should be good against trees, shouldn't it?
Oh, is it my turn? I wasn't
Yep,
paying
yeah,
attention.
you're up first, Rand.
Yeah. Alright, they're gonna attack us then. I'm gonna attack back. It's a reckless attack.
All right, you take a swing, Rend, and it brings up this wooden shield and blocks your 17. It's remarkably strong.
Alright, let's try it one more time then.
And that is a hit. All right, you slash your axe into the wood woad, and you just sort of chip off a couple of bits of bark, and it just sort of bleeds with sap.
Right.
Roderick.
Alright.
Oops.
How far are these so far? If I go like here. I'm going to use this.
All right, channel divinity to charm animals and plants. Present your holy symbol and invoke the name of your deity. Each plant creature within 30 feet has to make a wisdom save. If they fail, they become charmed. And do you have them all within 30 feet? All right, all but one.
Ah,
All right, the 3 closest to Roderick, they will all make wisdom saves.
Yep.
And you try to compel them. However, it does not work. They cannot be charmed.
okay. Well, as far as Sylvanus is concerned, if they want to do it the bad way, that's fine. He's like natural and hunting and stuff, so
You feel like
Yeah, we
these
should in that
things
place.
are somewhat sinister or corrupted.
Yeah. Then I'll just cast Shillelagh and hang out till something else happens.
Okay. Alright, the wood woad that you just attacked, Ren, the sap, it sort of heals over that injury that you just caused it. And oh, wait, what's going on? Sorry,
I destroyed him.
Dies.
my screen is like
Harmed them to death.
lagging up like crazy. Just bear with me for 2 seconds, guys. I think I might have like some
I don't know, the Roll20's been going slow for me.
excess stuff on this map. I'm just gonna try and like get some extra stuff out of here.
There's definitely a lot of lag, huh?
Is it lagging for you guys too?
Yeah.
It is for me.
Okay, it might be a roll
Lagging, but I had
20.
the crazy screen thing.
Let me
going
just
on.
check my task manager, see what's going on here.
I have
Yeah.
about a second and a half lag delay on.
Oh yeah, I'm not getting. I mean, it's not using. It's only using like 20% of my CPU, so it must be Roll20. All right, yeah. Anyway, it regenerates, so the sap just sort of heals it over, and it then just swings at you, Rend. making an attack with its club. And it hits. And when it hits you, you feel like the club is just empowered with magic. And it hits you incredibly hard for 8 bludgeoning damage. And it attacks you again. And it hits for another 8 bludgeoning damage. Alright, it whacks you a couple of times, and then it disappears. It sort of steps back. It doesn't actually leave your reach, Ren, but it just sort of steps back and like it just moves straight into the tree. And it is like it pretty much teleports, and it steps out of this tree over here. And
I'm going to use my action to use a channel divinity as well, and I'm gonna give this one Path to the Grave. So the next attack is going to be vulnerable.
all right, and make sure the next attack on that is like an unarmed strike or something.
Yeah, that's what usually happens.
So yeah, the next attack on that will be double damage. So save it for a big one.
And I bonus action. I think that's good enough.
You see
I'll move up.
the bark surrounding the woodwode start to become very brittle and sort of crack apart when you use that channel divinity. Lily.
Lily spends her turn shaking off her surprise.
Oh yeah, you're surprised. Okay, next woodwode. Alright, this one just sort of steps into the tree. And when it does, it emerges next to you, Lily. Sort of using the trees to teleport between different trunks. And then it steps forward and it attacks you, Lily.
Okay. So I will shield then.
Okay. You cast shield and the club just bounces straight off that attack. And it'll attack you again. And it misses, again bouncing off your shield, and then it just sort of steps back near the tree, but it does not teleport. Alright, this woad, it is going to step into the tree and emerge over here, and then sort of come around behind Than and attack him. 20 is a hit.
I like that they're shuffling.
It hits you for 12 bludgeoning damage, and it attacks again. And it hits again. For another 13 bludgeoning damage. You just feel like the club just, it's sheathed in some sort of magic, because it hits hard. And then the woad ends its turn there. And this final woad, it steps into the tree. And it emerges here. And then it runs at Roderick. And it hits. It slams this magic club into you with 15 bludgeoning damage. And then it makes a second attack. And it misses. Ends its turn there. Almost your surprise. So Rend, you're up next.
Alright, let's see here. Oh, that dude's got... So this one has double right here, right?
Yes.
Ah, sorry, everything's moving slow here.
Alright. Yeah. Let me just mess around with the dynamic lighting and try and take some of it off. Maybe it'll help.
Alright.
I like that the blood animation was super slow-mo too.
Yeah. It must just be Roll20 just having like a brain aneurysm. It might be this map too. Alright, so yeah. Hopefully that will be a little bit better.
So, reckless attack on this guy. Son of a bitch.
That is a miss.
All right, one more time.
And that hits. Alright, you hack into the woodwood and you split off a massive section of bark, and sap bursts out of it. Double damage. And yeah, it sort of is thrown back a little bit and it's looking injured. Roderick.
Cool. So these guys are definitely corrupted. Does it seem like?
They feel
don't like
you feel
it.
like this is quite sinister. They're just like attacking you with no provocation,
Yeah. Okay.
or at least they're very defended, like they're defending something.
Just be the trees. Yeah, whatever. They started this, so I'm going to just try beating the crap out of the one next to me.
That hits, and you just chip off a bit of bark, and you hit it again. Got some more
will
bark.
probably grow back.
Yeah, you can already see the sap just starting to sort of harden. This amber-colored sort of
Step around.
gem, and then healing back up. Alright, this woodwoad is going to run in at Thomas and attack. First attack is a miss. Second attack hits. And it slams the club into you for 13 bludgeoning damage. Ends its turn there. And
I guess I'm gonna toll the dead on this guy here that hit me. There.
it fails a saving throw, and more bark just sort of sheathed off of it.
Alright, I will bonus action disengage and head out to a boat. Well, it doesn't really matter, I guess.
The point farthest from any given tree.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. They keep coming up from trees, so but there's trees everywhere, and it doesn't seem like there's a safe area. But I'll go to here, regardless. See how that goes.
Lily.
So shield wears off. I'll use my bonus action to start blade singing. I'm gonna walk up to the one they've been wailing on. And let's just take some swing.
Sorry, my things lagged up. Which one did I didn't see you move yet? Which one are you attacking?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, no, like
Yeah, it hasn't moved for me either.
it rubber banded me back. I moved up to the same one that Rend was over at.
Okay. All right. Yep. Both of those attacks hit. The sword sort of cleaves through the bark and the wood.
Ignore the versus giants, and then that has just reminded me that I pulled the wrong sword out. But that's okay. It's a life lesson. Pay attention to what you draw.
Yeah, the woodwood. It's pretty badly destroyed. Another few good hits, and you feel like it's going to just break apart, fall to the ground. All right, this woad is going to move in at you, Lily, and it's going to swing with its club. It misses with its first attack, and it swings again. It misses, and then it steps back and provokes an opportunity attack from you.
I'm good.
Alright, it steps into this tree and reappears over here. Alright, this woodwoad is going to swing at Rend with the first attack and miss, and then it's going to swing at Lily with the second attack. And hopefully it's going to actually show up.
It's called suspense.
I clicked it like, there we go. Alright, it hits.
Let's see. I'm not. Yeah, I've got no chance to even shield that.
It hits you for 13 bludgeoning damage, and then the woodwode steps away and provokes from Lily and Rend. It also regenerates as well. Its wounds are sealing up. Rend, you miss.
Jeez.
And it's going to then just sort of tree stride over here. This woodwode is going to attack Roderick as the injuries that you'd caused it have almost practically completely healed up. Takes a swing at you. And it misses. And it makes the second attack. It misses. And then it's going to actually not move. Thomas.
Alright, I don't like being close to these guys. There. And I want to keep throwing damage on the guy that's hurt before he regens all.
Turn him into a matchstick.
Say burn!
If the trees are burned down, they can't teleport.
You hit him, Thomas, and the fire erupts over the woodwode. And it seems to be very vulnerable to fire. And it sort of crackles away the sap that sort of heals it. Instead of regenerating it, it just sort of drips off onto the ground like little sort of flickers of napalm.
They're really troll.
Oh, cool.
Phenomenal.
Oh my god, regen 2. They are trolls, aren't they?
They're in
Tree
disguise.
trolls.
Get between these well-armored people. And so that's bonus action and yeah.
Rend.
Alright, so go down here by Roderick, maybe? And reckless attack.
17 is a miss.
Once more.
And that hits. You swing the axe into the woodwode and just sort of chip off a bit of bark, a bit of sap.
Yeah.
Roderick.
I'll put Hunter's Mark on this guy, and then do my attacks. See if we can actually make some progress on him. Yeah.
That hits, and you just split off a big chunk of bark. Extra one from the
another
hunter's
tiny
mark.
Yeah. And again.
That is a miss. This time the quarterstaff bounces straight off its shield.
Yeah, I'll stay there.
This woodwode is going to step here. And then it's going to tree stride into this tree here next to you, Roderick. It takes another 5-foot step out, and it comes in behind you, swinging with its club. It misses with that attack. It swings again, and it misses, and then it ends its turn there. Dan.
Toll the dead on the fire guy. Lame.
Thought for sure.
It was meant to fail that because it was a 2 damage.
It's like total fail. All right. Cool. I'll make my stand where I stand.
Lily.
Let's see if this works. Sorry, it's just so slow. Okay, come running in. I will use my bonus action to cast a shadow. And then I'm going to attempt to create kindling.
Your first
Maybe
attack
one of them.
misses, but the second attack hits. You pass the shadow blade through the wood woad, and you see the two flittering yellow glows of its eyes start to fade, and it looks a little bit uncomfortable, but it's still somewhat alive.
That's we'll call that an alley-oop to Thomas.
Alright, this wood woad steps into the tree and reappears over here, and then it runs in at Than, coming up behind him with its club. And it just slams that club straight into your back, Than, for 12 bludgeoning damage. It brings the club in again, and it hits. Tremendous force is behind the club attack, and it hits you for 17 bludgeoning damage.
Cool, I'm dead.
Dead?
Oh. I'm down.
There's a big
One
difference
of the many
between
flavors
being
of
dead. A big difference between dead and down. Alright, it knocks you to the ground, unconscious, and it then steps back into this tree. Ends its turn there. This woad, it does not regenerate. The fire is just sort of melting it away, and it swings at you, Lily, with its club.
Okay.
It hits.
I want a shield.
Right, you cast shield, and the club bounces straight off. It takes another attack at you, and its club bounces off your shield again, and then it's going to tree stride away. And it sort of steps here, and it appears over in this a lot of trees to the west. This wood woad engaged with you two is going to swing at Roderick first. And it hits. It slams the magical club into you for 14 bludgeoning damage. Then it takes another attack at Rend. It misses badly with that attack. And it actually provokes from the both of you because it moves to this lot of trees here, using 20 feet of movement.
Nice. That's...
You hit with that attack, Roderick. And Rand, you also hit. It does regenerate as you guys attack it. And it's only looking slightly injured. And then it teleports over here. Thomas.
I really want to finish that one off. I'm going to use Tides of Chaos for advantage on this firebolt.
That is a direct hit.
Good thing.
It completely incinerates the wood woad, and a burnt husk falls to the ground. Rand.
Alright. Sorry, or hello. Yeah. Alright, I'll just stay with the one near us, I guess. And reckless attack that guy.
That hits. You hack through it with the axe, taking off a small chip.
Alright, once more. Come on.
That's another hit. Alright, you hit it again, and you sort of start to see it slowly starting to like sort of reform the gaps that you sort of created with those axe swings, but you've definitely out damaged it more than it can regenerate. Roderick.
I'm going to cast a healing word on Van.
Oh, I thought you were going to heal yourself. Leave Than down.
Sorry, you're right. On myself.
What are you gonna do with the woodwode?
So, nah, on Than. So E also takes 3 damage from Hunter's Mark. Currently.
Dunka.
And I don't think I have any. I don't know. I'll just do with smacking the one next to me.
That hits.
And
You hit again. Alright, with those 2 attacks, more massive chunks of bark are ripped off of it. And it's starting to look hurt.
but what's the way?
Alright, it will immediately return its attack towards you, Roderick. And it just whips that club around, whacking you for 11 bludgeoning damage. It's going to attack you again, Roderick. And it misses you. It steps back, and as it steps back, a few small injuries on it. They seal up, and it provokes 2 attacks of opportunity. Both of your attacks fall short as it holds up its wooden shield to defend its retreat, and it just sort of steps backwards into this tree branch or into the trunk, and then it sort of pokes its head out of the tree trunk all the way across the other side of this cavern. Dan.
I will Toll the Dead on this guy.
Okay, you can also use half your movement to stand up.
Okay.
Right, you open your eyes, look over at that woodwode, and you see a few bits of moss starting to sort of explode around its head. And weak.
Right. Okay, and I'll end my turn.
Lily.
Alright, I just go sprinting at this guy over here, and I start swinging away.
And it's a miss. And 16 is a miss as it interposes its shield.
I will spend a bonus action to feel bad about myself.
And this woodwode sees you get up, Than, and it just rushes you. Comes in with its club. And it hits. It whacks you with the club and you fall back to the ground. It then continues rushing Thomas, and it comes in with a second attack, and it just slams that club straight into Thomas for 17 bludgeoning damage. It ends its turn there. This woodwode regenerates, and it disappears into the tree trunk with a single step, and it's going to appear next to Lily and attack with its club. It hits.
So we'll shield again.
Right, you cast shield, and it makes its second attack at you, Lily. And it bounces off your shield. And then the woodwode just ends its turn there. Thomas.
These guys are starting to take. So I guess yells.
Alright, you drop a fireball on both of them. It does catch that tree on fire, and the grass in the area, it just gets scorched. A small fire starts on it, and a heap of bones in the corner here get scorched quite badly. And both woodwodes attempt to sort of duck for cover. This one, it managed to sort of use its shield to block the fireball, but the fire is too intense and it just it catches the shield on fire and just completely incinerates that woodwode. And this one, it takes 64 points of fire damage and is incinerated instantly.
That's super effective.
Alright, you do scorch a big pile of bones as well as that tree.
Yeah, but the bones were asking for it.
Casting leveled spell, so I can't, and I don't want to provoke, so I'm...
At the start of this round, you guys get startled by a great green dragon's head that bursts into view. And it has a tenderized corpse of an Uthgard barbarian dangling from its mouth. It's an ancient green dragon, old Nor bones, and it hisses as it comes into view. You take a look at this dragon's head and you just see this sort of spiny frill running down its crest. It has sort of these dark olive colored scales and sort of like thorn-like spikes sort of jutting around its jaw. It has a long forked tongue and there's like a green gas just sort of hovering around its mouth. And it joins initiative.
Shit.
Friend.
So is the dragon? North or south of us?
Yeah, it's south.
Okay, I see now. I had to zoomed in too far. All right. Go for the wood. I think my focus was on him. Reckless attack.
That hits. Alright, you hack that axe into the woodwode and it takes its first injury.
We're here to parlay.
You swing again, but the axe glances off the woodwode's shield. Roderick.
Okay. Use another healing word on that. He gets healed back. I would like to just greet Norbones like, oh hi, Norbones, how are you? Before I walk over here to smack one of these.
Alright, the dragon has just poked its head around the corner and it just is sort of hissing. You can just sort of hear this of something enormous sort of approaching you from that area, and then the dragon pokes its head around the corner and just doesn't respond to you, Roderick. You swing at the woad and just chip off another portion of it, and you hit it again hard and you snap off a massive chunk of bark with that attack. Then you can use half your movement to stand up.
I will toll the dead on him.
Woad fails and a massive portion of bark is unsheathed from the wood woad. Sap is just dripping down its trunk.
Alright, and then I will head towards the exit. About there. And bonus action, more movement to here.
Lily.
So, why do we think we can parlay with the dragon? I know a wizard said so, but did they give us like a code word, or does she know his cut?
Thought that she thought he'd wouldn't attack us if she knew we were helping.
Apparently, she hates dragons too.
Or get the giants back to normal.
Yeah, giants and dragons are like arch enemies. The wizard thought that maybe the dragons may help you to end the giant threat.
Okay. Well, in that case,
And gave you guys potions of poison just in case. Sorry, potions of poison resistant just in case things got bad.
yeah.
Potions of
So
poison to not get captured.
in that case, I'll walk in this direction a bit and just call out and say, the giant gone nuts, and we're trying to stop them. And see if I can come up with anything that would convince her not to eat us immediately.
Alright, the dragon just doesn't say anything, just stares at you, Lily.
Okay. And then, I'll drink my little potion, but I'm not going to make any aggressive moves toward the dragon at all.
Good call.
Alright, you use your action to drink the potion of poison resistance.
Sure. Yes.
Alright, you drink it, Lily, and you need to make a constitution save.
Oh wow.
It tastes horrible. It burns your
I
throat.
did not. I have bless on for some reason. I don't have bless.
It makes you sick, and you take 10 poison damage.
Ouch.
So it was just a potion of poison.
And you're poisoned. And while you're poisoned this way, you'll take poison damage at the start of each of your turns. And you can repeat the save at the end of your turn. And you take a look at it, and it's clearly labeled Potion of Poison Resistance. But it tastes, it actually tastes sweet like a healing potion. But yeah, it is foul. Like when you drink it, it causes you a lot of pain. And you look at this and you're just wondering, like, what went wrong? Did someone label this wrong or something and label the potion of poison as a potion of poison resistance by accident?
And then I'm just going to address the dragon and be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. And I'm going to run over here and throw.
Alright, you get to repeat your saving throw at the end of your turn.
Oh, okay.
Alright, you start to resist the poison, but it doesn't just instantly end. It's like it's got some
I
residual...
vomited some of it out.
It's got some residual effect. Alright, this would work.
Right now, Lily's just wondering which of you bastards gave me this.
The wood woad regenerates, and it's going to attack Thomas. And it hits. It hits you for 11 bludgeoning damage. And it's going to attack Roderick. And it swings that club at Roderick. It hits you for 16 bludgeoning damage, Roderick.
I'm taking that club if we survive this.
And then the wood woad, it pushes past you guys, and it seems to like pretty much be quite scared of the dragon, and it doesn't see either of you go down, but it still makes a brazen escape, and it runs to this lot of woods here, provoking 3 opportunity attacks. Rend, you swing the axe at it and you hit. Take a chip off its shoulder. Thomas, you swing into the air with that dagger.
My Roll20 is just going slow, so we'll see when it gets around to it.
And your attack misses, Roderick. And then the woodwode actually ends its turn there. Thomas.
All right. Say hello, your magnificence. We seek your wisdom in defeating the giant. And I apologize for burning your bones. And I'm gonna run over here, unstopper my decanter, and squirt water at the bones to try to.
Okay.
Yeah, we were clearing out these things for you. Seems like you had a small infestation.
Alright, the decanter of endless water got a few things it can do.
Yeah, so I'll say geyser so I can shoot the water.
Alright, 30 gallons of water just immediately washes down on that fire and just puts everything out instantly.
And my action, I'll drink my potion of healing. That 2d4 plus 2?
That's an action, isn't it? Or is it just free for the decanter?
It's a bonus action.
A bonus action, okay. A healing potion is 2d4 plus 2.
Oh, nice.
Alright, the dragon, it is very, very big. It's on its hind legs with its head down. It's about 25 feet tall, and its wingspan must be close to 100 feet. It shakes the ground as these gnarled claws drag it closer to you guys, and it casts a spell on Thomas. Thomas, suddenly some roots and vines burst up out of the ground, wrap around you, cast entangle. And you have to make a strength saving throw. Alright, you fail, Thomas, and you become restrained. In that area of difficult terrain, 20-foot square. Rend.
Yep. I charge the woad because I want that club. Reckless attack.
That hits. Alright, you hack into the woad with a mighty blow and you just chomp a big chunk out of it.
Alright, once more. So, there we go. Come on.
That hits. Swinging again, Rend, you just sort of chop it in its side, and it like pretty much almost cuts it in half. However, the sap, it just sort of bleeds profusely, and it's just constantly regenerating, and it does not die.
Ah, bastard.
It's just starting to reform. The sap is hardening into wood. Roderick.
I would like to try to convince the dragon. So I'm going to be like, great. Oh, Miss Old Door Bones. We were here to seek your help fighting the giants. Please.
The dragon hisses at you.
Little creature, little bug, how dare you insult me? I know why you're here. The assumption that I don't offends me. Silence.
I will stop talking then. Like, I'll just go over here. Actually, how far is that? Yep. And I'll bonus action move my hunter's mark onto it. And swing away. If I can. There we go.
15 is a miss. 16 is a miss. As it holds up its shield, it's just regenerating, and the sap just continues to reform it. Man.
I'll toll the dead on it.
Alright, use a Toll of the Dead, and it makes a wisdom save. Alright, more chunks of bark start falling off of it, but it still doesn't die. The sap just keeps on reforming it.
I see.
It's just forever regenerating.
All right. Well, I guess that's pretty much. Take a few more steps back, I guess. Not really liking the dragon, and ending the turn.
Alright, Lily, you take some more poison damage. It's not as intense this time. You take 7 points of poison damage.
All right. Do I have to make a saves or anything?
At the end of your turn, you can repeat the saving throw. Actually, no, you've
Okay.
already made the saving throw, so yeah, now it's just, you gotta wait for it to wear off.
Oh, lovely.
Actually,
I'm
you
gonna
you
use-
can repeat it again, and it may wear off quicker at the end of your turn.
Okay. They're dealing with that guy over there, and I can't even reach him. So I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna use my turn to try to convince the dragon, the great powerful dragon here, that we whatever it thinks we're after, we're not. We just want allies against the giants who are rampaging the countryside.
The dragon chuckles.
Tiny creature. How dare you insult me once more? You're insulting my intelligence and my insight. I could crush you all, turn you into a feast of bones. Address me again in a manner that makes you seem like you have the honor of communicating with me, and I shall see to it the flesh is stripped from your bones from my breath. You will listen, but you will not speak to me once more.
I don't say another word, but I just bow. And then you said I get a. That was my action. I was talking, so I get a chance at the end of my turn. Make the save.
That didn't take your action, but yeah, you still have your action.
All right. Well, if I'm going to use my action, I really don't like that guy over there, so I guess I'll throw a spell at him.
Alright, I mean, it doesn't matter if he succeeds or not, because he's not going to die, because he regenerates.
Yeah, we gotta burn him.
Yeah, but I just wanted a chance to cast Ding Dong Dude.
Okay.
Ding dong doom.
Even as more sap is sort of splattering out of it from these attacks and the spells, it's relentlessly regenerating, reforming. I could
If
try.
nothing else, he's maybe a little more uncomfortable. But that's it. Yeah, I won't say another word to the dragon. I'll just bow and do it.
Alright, the woodwode, it just regenerates, and then it steps into the trees and disappears. And I'm going to break initiative. Alright, old Gnawbones just like yells at you guys. in common, he speaks.
Listen. Listen now. You must travel north to the valley of Kedron. There you will search for a giant temple. It is known as the Eye of the All-Father. Therein, you'll learn what must be done to end the giant menace. You should keep your eye out also for a frost giant who wears the helm made from a white dragon's skull, as he can help you.
She waits to see if anyone responds with just a bit of a smile on her face and a bit of poison gas starting to build up in her maw.
Ren raises his hand.
I prostrate myself and say to my friends, "We're not worthy to address her."
Ren raises his hand.
The dragon then smirks and actually just takes off into flight, moving like hundreds of feet in 6 seconds, just gone.
Well, I think that went well.
I just stay restrained.
She does not drop the concentration on the spell.
Can I go and hack on him
Yeah.
with my axe?
No, you
So-
can't actually hack through the spell. Your axe would sort of pass through it, but you could try and pull Thomas free.
So do we get the XP for an adult dragon then?
Ancient dragon.
Well, we don't get XP. That was the joke.
Does Harshnag wear a white dragon helmet when I met him?
Yes. Yeah, she's talking about Harshnag 100%.
All right.
She will drop the spell after a minute, Thomas. It expires. So. You don't have to spend. You don't have to spend the rest of. You don't have to spend the rest of the campaign entangled.
Lily survived being poisoned.
Yeah. She did she make a?
Actually, I forgot to
Constitution?
even make a Constitution save, so let's.
Alright.
Oh, I'm vomiting.
You take 6 more poison damage by the time it wears off.
So she said travel north to Kedron,
Yeah, Valley of Kidron.
Yeah.
the giant temple of the Eye of the All-Father.
I'll
what I
update
wrote.
the find Harshnag quest with that information.
We're looking for Odin's temple.
All father. Yeah, pretty much.
The Eye of the All-Father.
Which one of you gave me that potion?
I think it was the wizard.
Yeah. The wizard handed him out.
I don't think I was there for when the wizard handed those.
Okay.
Well, he gave one for everybody, so we just dispersed them.
Yeah.
Can I,
do you want me to like test the other ones, see if they're also
exactly.
bad?
There we go. That's updated. Harshnag quest. So that's another thing pointing you towards that direction.
Are all the potions shit then? Can we check them?
I'm willing to go taste testing them. Like,
Oh,
just
I'm sure
to-
we could just smell them
little-
or something. Yeah.
Well, we said it smelled or tasted the same as the other thing.
No, you said it tasted like a
healing
Like a
potion,
healing
sweet.
potion, not a.
It it tasted nice. So you take a look at the potions. Each one looks exactly the same as the one Lily drunk. Each one is labeled potion of poison resistance. Each one looks and smells exactly like the one that Lily Sure.
Yeah, so we just go back and kill the wizard now.
We could get him to drink it.
Wait, you
That's more
said,
fitting.
did you try yours?
I didn't. I am just resistant to poison, so. Because, like, the identify thing is just taking a sip. So I might actually take a sip of it and see how bad it is.
Like, you take a sip and it just tastes
20
perfectly
D10
fine.
Okay. Yep. Mine tastes fine, but I suppose you can't really tell until you actually chug the whole thing.
Yeah, but if you're immune to being
Okay.
poisoned, would that
You could
would seem fine to you, right?
Listen, mine definitely didn't taste fine.
you guys can make Arcana checks now about what may have happened here.
Could be something to do with the dragon. Probably not.
What happened here is nobody put an expiration date on that potion.
Used by. It's 3 years ago.
Lily
Get rid
and
of that.
Than, it's not a potion of poison resistance. Obviously. It's a potion of poison, is what you drunk. So a potion of poison, it looks, smells, and tastes exactly like a potion of healing or some other beneficial potion, like a potion of resistance. However, it's actually poison masked by illusion magic. Only an identify spell can reveal its true nature. If you drink it, you take 3d6 poison damage, and you have to make a con save or become poisoned. Then you just slowly, if you make the save, you slowly take less and less damage until it goes away.
Well. Yeah, so maybe.
Alright,
What's that? You're sorry for making me poison?
so
Oh,
Norbones,
don't worry about it.
he flies off, and you guys are just left here back near the entrance of the Crypt Garden Forest.
I'm surprised Thomas isn't looking through the bones.
I was just gonna say, search for through the bones.
Ooh. She has scrying balls. She thinks we're searching for her treasure. I don't know that.
No, she
Alright, she would take that.
was saying that she knew what we were here for. She's like, she doesn't need us to tell her. She knows more than us, so she knows
Yeah.
why we're actually here.
That's my response to searching through her stuff. Was no, she would know what. And
Trying to find
Not
the thing.
a good move.
Oh yeah.
Are there any of those clubs from the Woads, the ones that got killed? Any of those left?
Yeah, there's a couple of them laying around, and you pick one up, Rend, and it baffles you how powerful it was, because when you examine it, it just looks like a gnarled piece of wood. Nothing special about it at all.
Those bastards.
It's all about
Better-
how you use it, and I cast Shillelagh.
You find his credit card, which is funny because you wouldn't expect the trees to have plastic on them.
Alright, so what will you guys do now? You want to camp in the Crypt Garden Forest or exit?
I don't think camping here would be a good idea.
You know,
maybe go back to that inn with the dwarf.
Yeah, respectfully leave and
Well, the dwarves are the. Oh, never mind. Thinking of the wrong place.
okay. You guys decide to leave the Crypt Garden Forest. Everyone roll me a 1d20. Alright, as you guys exit, just plainly sitting on the ground, just right immediately in your path, Thomas, you see a glowing orb, a very, very small one, a little blue glowing pearl, radiating with power.
I'll pick that up.
And it wasn't there on the way through. It's just sitting at your feet. You take a look at it, and later on in the day, as you're making your way back to the Wayside Inn, you identify it, and you learn that it's a pearl of power.
Ooh.
Nice.
Just sitting on the ground. You can use it to regain spell slots.
Mine says it's loading, so
Oh yeah, I think it's for some reason.
Pearl of loading.
yeah.
You failed to identify it.
So is that for like if you have a crossbow or something, you can use it to load your crossbow?
Yes. You just shoot the pearl of power
I
like
think
out
it's
of a
just
sling.
stuck on like loading. Like that's the description. It's saved as loading. Let me fix it up.
Oh, no.
Sweet.
Let's try again. Requires attunement by a spellcaster, and you can regain 3 levels worth of spell slots. Actually, sorry, 1 spell slot up to 3rd level.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, man. Congrats.
Rend, if you got learnt spells, you could use this.
Yeah. All right.
Alright, are you gonna attune to it, Thomas?
Yes, please.
Okay. Alright, you guys make your way back to the Wayside Inn, and you actually have to travel overnight. And yeah, you'll have to like you won't arrive back to the Wayside Inn until like early the next morning. So do you guys want to do like a forced march and just march through the night to get there? Or just
We should camp as long as we're not in the
yeah,
right at the entrance to the Giants.
moved away from the
Right, right.
main forest. Alright, so you guys decide to camp out. And you guys just camp out. You don't have any encounters. There is a group of about a dozen elk that move past you guys during the night, but that's it. You wake up the next day, and you're sort of back on the road, on the Wayside Inn the next morning, where you can just sort of get some more water and food or whatnot. And where would you guys like to go now? Back on the road. Another quest completed.
It's an interesting word to use there. Completed.
Naxine, that was a part of Naxine's quest. From
Completed Naxines and added to.
you completed what Naxine sort of led you guys to, and then you learn more information about this Harshnag character.
Do we
So
know where
where's-
this
so where-
valley is?
Yeah, where is the valley?
Valley of Kedron is up here in the spine of the world.
Oh, okay, that's near where I saw Harshnag
Yeah.
earlier.
Quite a ways.
Yeah, it is.
So
Hey,
we
Baker.
could either try genocide at Grudd, which we don't really have a plan for. At least not a good one. Or we could travel way up.
Well, we
Didn't we have a few other things to do?
kind of have 2 more people now because I was out of commission with my bubbles and
Yeah, you were speaking bubbles and I was playing Ragdoll.
Yeah. We could try set up something.
Well, there's some other quests as well.
I kind of want to see the beans get used while the place is on fire.
I'm keen to like go there at night and just cause some trouble.
Okay.
So the goal isn't to actually kill them or anything, but just to anger them, cause them grief.
Come on, man. It's magic
I mean-
beans.
So
Where else are we going to use them?
when you guys think about assaulting Grudd again, what do you guys think you'll do differently this time that won't result in you guys being completely destroyed?
I had a plan. Your description of that large room had a big fat person.
Yes, Chief Gah. Yelling out orders. And just think about everything that you know about hill giants. Think about every hill giant that you've met. What you know about Chief Gah.
Yeah, and you said she was super heavy, right?
Seems
Yeah.
in large reduce.
So my thought was, there we go. My horrific plan was sap under her and collapse her through the floor down into the.
Oh yeah. Dig your tunnel.
Well,
So we'll take a couple months to dig out underneath.
Well, underneath her there's a cave.
Well,
Yeah.
we seem to do well if we can pull one or two out at a time and not run into there.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my god, she's wearing a well for a hat.
So
They have like
yeah,
that
from
was
what you
like-
guys saw, the giants, they have not one of them has pursued you guys out of the setting.
we can, I'm looking at the quest here. We can go to the, if we can capture the Weevil, we can collect a 5,000 gold piece reward. Dar's Helger's quest.
Yeah, were there windows on the thing? Could we shoot through? That was hell.
There are no windows in the setting.
Just make someone look really big and then tell them what to do.
Well, actually, there are a couple of windows, but there's no way to like reach them. You'd have to be flying. There's a couple on the south side and a couple on the north side from what you saw. So you only saw the main hall briefly.
Right.
But the walls are 30 feet high.
Here's what I can say definitively. Running into that room is not the right battle plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It would do
Yeah, a
something
head-on
like that
fight is not likely winnable.
It have
What is their source of food?
that's what I was about to say. It
We can
was
put the
using
poison in
like
it.
a loud voice to say, in a giant voice, "Hey sheep, get away!" See if one would come out to kill them.
Or we take the sheep
Try it
away
again,
from them?
because they're stupid.
You know what? You know one way to take sheep away?
Light them on fire.
Fire.
But they can still.
God, I was gonna say lead them away. Jesus.
You're just
They
gonna
don't have
cook
to
them.
go away. They just have to think they're going away.
It would take a long time if we want to do anything. First, take away their food. Secondly, whenever they send somebody out, we kill them. But that might take time. No idea
Or
what they're
they-
feeding. If they're
Or they just all come out at us and we're still hosed.
From what you guys have seen, there's many hill giants that are sort of being sent out to collect food. You've seen hill giant attacks everywhere and fail. Around the Desserin Valley, in the hills over here, in Golden Fields. So you feel like there are a lot of giants coming and going, bringing Chief Gar food, and hill giants strive to be the biggest they can be. So
Ooh, could we poison them all?
We've got some things of poison. But I don't think
I'm acutely aware.
I'm gonna kill.
Just make a big pile of food, poison it, put it out the front, Hope for the best.
Luckily for Lily, it's not that strong of a poison.
Yeah, which is probably not going to be enough. Kill the hill giant then.
I mean, what else do we know about giants besides they're stupid?
Well, think about all the hill giants that you met so far. You can
Yeah,
list them
they're
all.
lost. They're
Yeah.
roaming and lost. Most of them.
Well, you met
But
Wonka.
They seem focused on eating.
Not very smart. That was one that you met. They just said that like they've been sent out to get food, bring it back for Chief Gar.
so that's the thing. We show back up, there could be a dozen of them.
Now, if you guys want to be really dumb, we could let one of them put us all in bags and take us back in there. But that doesn't
No.
really.
No.
Let's see what else.
That-
Let's try to put
There's-
everything that we know on the table and then try to come up with a plan.
I think the
What other hill giant? Think about the first hill giant that you'd met.
The lady in the windmill?
The first
Was that the
hill
first
giant.
one?
Yes. The female hill giant in the windmill.
She liked to queef.
In the windmill.
She liked to queef. Exactly. Queef.
Yeah, she squatted on, was it Dan or Roderick?
Now,
It wasn't me.
No, there's Norin.
It was Norin.
now think about
Alright.
queefs. No. Alright, do you remember what she was saying? It's a while ago, so your characters could make intelligence checks.
They've all been dudes,
She wanted food.
other than. Yeah, she wanted food. Her husband got
she
stolen
wanted
by.
food. Yes, her husband got stolen. So it makes you feel like the male hill giants are probably like sort of there against their will, sort of thing, or being manipulated or being used.
The big stupid drow that lived.
And the only female hill giant that you saw there in the steading was Chief Gar.
Yeah.
Her and 5 males.
So how do we get them to turn on her?
Shrink her.
Oh my god, that would be so awesome.
Well, so with hill giants, you got to understand is that the bigger they are, the better they are in their eyes. So it's like a status symbol. That's why she's trying to get as big as she can.
So we get Ka to continuously eat and getting bigger and bigger until he can take over.
So
That's
may-
not-
Or we
maybe
or we find the second biggest one and promise him that he'll be the new master or something. The new leader.
Or we go get this reward for 5,000 gold.
So
Yeah. Well, what are we going to do with 5,000 gold?
Nothing. It's useless.
Yeah, because we've already got 5,000 gold, pretty much.
But it won't kill us.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I'll admit that. So, if we can get someone else to be bigger than Chief Gar,
So,
he'll be charged.
she weighs
My
20,000 pounds. I don't know if that's going to be possible. But
There's like
maybe,
enlarge reduce. Enlarge reduces a spell.
But like obviously she's bossing all the giants
Yeah.
around, right? Yelling
Yeah.
at them, telling them what to do.
so if one of you could impersonate her, you could order some giants maybe to leave. My thought was if we could polymorph her into something small, they might.
Oh, yeah.
There was the other plan of digging underneath her and collapsing her down into the tunnels below.
How would you
Yep.
dig underneath her?
Like, I'm not a detail person, okay?
Well, if it's hollow underneath her, all we gotta do is collapse the floor somehow.
And she was very heavy.
Well, there was that. Well, she's propped up on a giant wagon, and the wheels are all sort of buckled. But yeah, 20,000 pounds is some serious weight, and it is just a wooden floor.
Yeah,
You can imagine if her weight was dropped on the floor, then she's going to go through it, definitely.
So we go to Waterdeep, buy some explosives. We go back, set it up on the floor, take her out.
All right, anyone who stood inside the steading? Was it just Ren?
I technically ran in next to Rend and then noped out real fast.
All right. Both of you can make an intelligence. Both of you can make an intelligence check for me.
Sweet. It's my best one.
That's why I knew you went in Ren. That's why I was asking, who is it? Everyone that went in.
You asked earlier, and I rolled it, and nothing came of it. I can roll it again though.
We don't have a levitate.
That was for some. That was for remembering. That was for remembering the female hill giant and how she was saying that.
Oh, okay.
The husbands have been stolen and whatnot. All right, yeah. You guys can't think of anything.
I like to think I floated a lot of plans here.
Speaking
To
of
go
float,
in
we
the
had
bottom
like
of
a
that,
levitate scroll
set
or
fire to the wood.
lift her up and then
Levitate's only 500 pounds.
no.
Yeah, like 30 levitate scrolls. Get like a big circle of mages like cast it at once.
So we polymorph her into something small and then levitate.
Do you think it's possible to talk to them? They're stupid, right?
That would work. You
Like-
could polymorph her, levitate her, unpolymorph her, and then she'd drop.
No, just polymorph her into a chicken.
They're stupid.
Well,
They're
here's
stupid,
the problem.
but like they have their ordering, they have their hierarchy, and
Yeah.
the bigger
does
they
that
are,
also have a?
bigger means better.
Does it have a 400-foot range?
So if bigger's better, if she's not biggest, then she doesn't get to boss anybody around her.
Yeah, but if you can't get close to her to cast the spell, it won't matter.
Oh, there was a back entrance.
Yep.
We haven't been on the other side yet. That she was
Oh
close.
yeah.
And there's also the underground.
All right.
Yep,
Who's the
there,
stealthiest person?
There's a ladder leading up. At some area too.
One
Stealthiest
person
person comes
stealths in.
first.
New point. One person stealths in there. The rest of us underneath. We polymorph her into like something really small. You grab her and we just kill.
Yeah. If it's nighttime, I might be the stealthiest because I'll be actually invisible. I'll just have to take my clothes off or the heavy armor.
I'm not sure that's how invisibility normally works.
Well, no, as in just so I don't make noise. But yeah, we could try kidnapping her. You just have to make sure the polymorph sticks.
Do you think she can be reasoned with?
Well,
Then
we're
the
not
next
big
question would
enough.
be to what end?
Well, I mean,
On
like
the-
if we just polymorph her, like if we just put her somewhere else, then she can't move, can she? Because she's too fat to move now.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Climb
what
up the tower with
about-
her.
We can try to use attrition. But again, that's like a going in violent plan. Can we? Okay, so
We could go
Are
shopping
they-
for some stuff.
are they? Is it like? Is their hunger like insatiable, or is it more like they just like eat? Like if we start starving them, will they start eating each other?
They will not start eating each other. And yeah, you
Most of the
feel
stuff they were
like,
getting was for her.
I mean, these giants are big. They're not going to starve to death anytime soon.
Yeah.
But they would send people out for more food, right?
There's people out all the time.
Maybe. It seems like the ones that have been sent out were like not special. So it might just be other ones. Because they had like 5 of them there and or 4 of them there, and each time we've run into them there's been groups of 2 or so.
But if we
May or may
work
not.
on attrition, we've got to be able to kill them slowly but faster than they could possible. I don't know how quick they make new babies, but
We're just gonna lay siege to them.
I mean, kinda.
Build a tower out nearby so we can keep.
Now we're right back to start to put the sheep on fire. So, I mean, can we think of anything else about hill giants that we know that we've learned from them? Like, can we use the fact that it's all men in there?
Wait. Also, one other question. So, on the off chance we somehow were able to collapse the floor underneath her, how far from the floor to the from that where she would fall to the bottom of the cavern? How far is that?
It looked
So, like,
about
how much?
30 feet.
So she would only be taking, she wouldn't take that much damage.
Yeah.
But we could hit on her, hit her before.
What? Wait, what are you thinking seduction now, Ren? You're gonna hit on her?
You're not fat enough for that, Ren.
Yeah, the acts of laying.
Do any of us run
Giants lay out
anything
great
illusion based?
Yeah, you can try. How big can you make an illusion, though?
Well, I don't even know if anybody can make an illusion yet.
Yeah, I can make minor ones, but that's basically.
Minor?
No, she is the chief, so keep that in mind. She is the leader of that steading.
Yeah, so if we got rid of her, then they'd all break up and kind of do their own thing. Be
Are they dumb
disorganized.
enough? Are they dumb enough we could convince them to try to eat her, and then they'd be.
It's like they cannot. They're well, they don't know that they're following an ordning, but they do. It's an ordning, so it's
Okay.
their very creation, their lore and their history. Larger giants are stronger than they are, and they have to do what they say.
Okay, so how about what about the other side of this building? Because she was all the way over.
You wouldn't know any charm spells?
She was far to the west side, if I remember.
She was sort of against the western wall. It's a very large chamber, and then they have this like sort of wooden catwalk with some ladders leading up to it, sort of surrounding the interior with goblin arches on it. And it had a number of like feasting tables with some giants leaning against it, ogres standing on the tables with bolt launchers, and hobgoblins also commanding the foray.
And there's a kitchen somewhere back there.
Yeah,
I think that's what one of the ladders went up to.
Yep.
So if we were to go in through the west side instead of the east side, we'd come out like right in her.
Yeah, that doorway led like pretty much right next to her wagon.
Yeah, so going in that side, we could get to her quickly. We don't have to go across an entire room full of.
She might be big enough that we could attack her, and the others would never even see.
We might be able to pick up some like oil in one of these villages on the way and douse her wagon and light it on.
I mean,
We're back to the sheep.
Thomas has been good at lighting wagons on fire without even trying, so I don't know why we need oil for it. He set 2 wagons on fire without even thinking about it.
Alright, you guys feel like you've got a good enough plan now? At least.
Wait, do we have a plan?
No.
No.
I'm partial to it because I came up with it, which is trying to collapse the floor.
Yeah.
Because she's so heavy. I don't know how.
What spells do you guys have?
So
Like,
we buy oil, go in through the bottom, come up, douse the floor underneath her, and light it up.
So we roast
So
her.
the floor collapse. No, so the floor burns.
We can set up spikes before collapsing the floor. So she falls
I mean,
on
that's
spikes.
actually pretty good thought right there. I like that. Like if you're going for sneaky, go all in on sneaky.
Yeah.
We can go from underneath. We can try to lure them out one by one from the east, or we can go into the west and try to blitz and kill her right away.
They don't seem to leave her, so the luring them out one at a time I don't think is going to work.
She is like yelling like, those of you who could understand giant heard her yelling like nobody, like you stay and protect me. Olga, you go run after them.
Yep. Suppose our wizards don't have enlarge. Well, our wizard and sorcerer don't have enlarge reduce, do they?
And you said she was sitting on like a big wooden chair?
A
Wagon.
a wagon of like buckled
wagon.
wheels. I sort of propped up on the wheels, but the wheels are like sort of bent and buckled. Sort of slightly raised above the floor, just surrounded with like a big pile of hay. And bones and carcasses and all sorts of shit.
All kinds of flammable.
You swear you could see like a goblin like rolled up in under her gut somewhere.
Caught in a fat fold.
Yeah.
Does anybody have Shatter? Any of the spellcasters?
Yep.
That might be able to work on the floor.
Oh yeah, does bonus damage to it. Yep.
We set up the spikes, and hopefully she collapses onto the spikes.
With
Do
the
you
floor
think
burning
the-
to weaken it and then shatter it to...
Are you shattering the floor or the wagon or?
The floor. We would be underneath. You
A
cast
shatter
right underneath
wouldn't
it.
destroy the floor.
Yeah.
You'd need like a heap of shatters. Maybe like four,
How much-
four or five good
Thinking
shatters.
we get the floor burning underneath her.
How much damage do we think the floor would need?
It'd probably need about 100 points of damage.
How? Okay. How high? How big is the wagon?
It is huge. It's like a 30 feet by 20 feet or something like that. You guys didn't take a very good look at it though. Like sort of ran in, didn't really pay too much attention to it.
Was she like pretty high up while sitting in that wagon, or like down low to the ground?
She was raised on the wagon. And then the wheels are sort of buckled under her enormous weight. And she's just sort of sitting there, laying there at the back of the room, just swinging her club around, yelling out orders, blah blah blah.
Oh, if she can't move, we could anything that just does damage in an area would be useful. Just leave it on her. Hide away.
Well, I thought half this plan was making her move by forceful.
Yeah, well, there's two ways to go about it. Since she can't move, either move her somewhere that's bad for her, or just make where she is bad for her. So, yeah, either one would work. Oh, what
Okay,
exactly happens if we
so-
put the have his handy sack, the bag of holding together?
It creates a portal to the astral plane where everything is sucked into the astral plane. And they'll probably get
Yeah.
attacked by maybe like an astral dreadnought, a Githyanki skiv, maybe some other sort of astral bearing creatures.
Yeah, like we could
Maybe
lose
they'll-
our handies.
They'll
Have
get
a second.
deposited in Tunarath, who knows?
Bag of holding for
Githyanki
that.
City.
Just send them the biggest hill giant ever.
That would be hilarious.
If we do that, Seb, will you make it appear in your other game?
Yes, I'll make the hill giant drop on people in the astral plane in another campaign. That would be so
Yeah.
funny. That is that's a good idea. That would definitely work. You'd sacrifice a
couple.
bag of holding though.
And the
haversack.
and the haversack.
And then
Yeah.
who would put it? Who would? And also you'd sacrifice someone because who would put them inside?
No,
one
you
another?
could have two mage hands. Two mage hands. One puts it in the other. You're 30 feet
Oh, yeah.
away.
Yeah, that's possible.
But,
We have
okay,
some
so
more.
we've got a plan C.
Plan C.
Yeah.
Yeah. Step 1 of Plan C is find 2 people with mage hand.
Oh, we only have one?
I don't know that we have it.
Oh, any? Nobody has it?
I'm afraid to speak up and say that I have it because of the. I mean,
You set one down and
What's
maybe, I don't know.
I like if we're planning to kill shit. I like the idea of trying to thin the numbers out through attrition. It takes time, obviously, but over the course of time, you could probably thin some of this out. You could get a wagon full of oil and shove it into her. If you go into the entrance near her, light that all on fire. I think lighting that wagon on fire, no matter what, is probably a good idea. I like trying to knock her down below.
Yeah. We could try summoning demons in there. Scroll with summon greater demon. That'd be nice. Just throw one in there and hope for the best or the worst. Actually, that'd probably destroy it.
I don't know that we have anybody capable of summoning demons.
Yeah, but you can buy scrolls.
I don't know that Womford's gonna have a bunch of cool, if any, spell scrolls. He had like a farmer's market.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of different.
I'm sure that they are absolutely stocked on summon greater demon scroll.
That's Womford's specialty.
Yeah.
Alright, so do you guys have a good enough plan now? Need to decide
I
something.
feel like we have the bones of several plans without much
Yeah.
meat.
I
Yeah.
think as simple as possible is good. I mean,
Well, we
you
can
guys wanna
try
go into the west. You want to come in from underneath.
Right,
Start there.
Dan, you got
West
any
is the
ideas? How do you feel about all this?
Yeah.
Dan? Oh wait, is he?
He's gone.
Oh,
Maybe.
Okay. He's in the AFK chat.
Is it Lily? You're the one with the polymorph, aren't you?
Yes.
That
So,
one may work. Polymorph.
how much, while we were below, how much could we see of what was...
From the plans that you guys have had, I've been just talking about, to me, a lot of them sound really good.
Yeah.
Except for, especially the sheep. No, not the sheep, but yeah, you guys have got some plans
If we
that
could incorporate the
seem
sheep
quite
somehow.
feasible. And
Yeah.
then after everything is gone and done, you can just go and burn all the sheep as well.
God bless you, Seb.
But I think the key is let's pick one so we're not all implementing a different.
Yeah, you guys get there. Everyone's like, for some reason, Ren's lighting the sheep on fire.
I'm just there with the haversack
Someone's
and
going through
Roderick's
the
summoning a
walls,
demon.
lighting the
Case.
floor on fire from under.
One guy's got
Lily's
the...
standing there
one
with
of the
like
bags
this bag of
without the other.
holding open. Thomas is running around with pink bubbles coming out of his mouth.
There's just a crater there when we're all said and done.
Do we think we can, see, I'm trying to think about... Okay. Do we think we can reach, essentially, that throne-ish area from underneath using the...
there's those grates and stuff, but they were further in the room. Or like sort of more to the
There was
center.
the ladder that came up underneath behind her, right?
Yeah, that went into the kitchen, somebody said.
Okay.
But we didn't want to go up it because that would be like whack-a-mole if somebody was in there.
Probably the back entrances. So depending on the plan, if we're trying to like do something to her immediately, back entrance. If we're trying to collapse the floor, then go underneath and work from there.
Yeah, and...
Yeah, because the other thing you could do is polymorph someone into something that can fly and douse the. Because the reason I say
have a,
oil is 'cause everything seemed too
roll
wet to
of
catch
fly as
last
well.
time we were there, and so throw some oil on it and then catch it on
Yep.
fire.
Just
I feel like she probably sweats a lot as well, so like her surrounding area may be kind of damp too.
right.
It's so disgusting.
It's probably the dampest area.
Just means we need more oil.
Yeah, we need something to help it burn.
Then again, maybe she's excreting enough oil.
Yeah, it depends what's in her diet. Is it like lots of fat and sugar? Probably not.
She may
I think
be
it's pretty much
popping-
everything.
Popping her bed sores from.
Guys
How would
can
we- how would
run
we
and
collapse the
squeeze
floor?
her.
It's made of wood.
We catch it on
So-
fire, let it burn for a bit, and then start pummeling
Yeah.
it with shatters.
The entire floor is wood from up there all the way down to where we're the under.
Are there pillars holding it up from the below?
There are
And,
no
room
pillars.
underneath? Okay, so it's like.
What if?
very
Okay,
close.
what if we don't? Okay, so I'm thinking like, how close was one of those wooden grates? Was they close to her? Maybe we don't have to go through the floor. Maybe we could go through.
So there was a few of those like crisscrossed wooden beams with like the holes sort of leading down. There was like 3 of them underneath, like in the cave area, and then you guys saw a ladder leading up, sort of to the west of Grudd. But you didn't actually see that ladder from like the area that you guys like in the main steading area. There's like a curtain up, so you feel like that would lead like behind her.
Yeah. Well, what I'm wondering is there any way we could like, instead of like literally trying to tunnel through the floor itself, try to knock her onto the wooden beams, which we could much more easily weaken than the floor, to get her to. But that doesn't work if they're not near her.
Yeah, because just moving her.
If what are near here? If what are near here?
Those wooden grates in the floor. I was trying to think about how to weaken the floor, and I thought, well, those are already a weaken.
Yeah.
You feel like with her weight, if she like sort of fell, then you don't need to weaken the floor. She's gonna go straight through it.
How high is the wagon that she's on?
It's a good few feet above the ground.
Be enough.
I like the idea of knocking the wagon out. Then
Can you banish inanimate
heavy?
objects?
Can banish her and then move the wagon, and then
I was just thinking banish the wagon. You just let her drop.
polymorph her,
Doesn't work on all.
throw her in the air, and then run away and unpolymorph.
See, the problem with a lot of these plans is requiring us to be upright next to her.
Yeah, but that's the back entrance.
I
is
wanted
fine for
us.
Well,
See,
you
but
could
I
drill a
wanted
hole
us
in the
to be-
floor so you can just see her.
that. You're gonna be far away, yeah.
Well, see, I wanted us to be in a room that was not that room up there.
Or get up on the roof, drill the hole through the roof, and then look down at her. Depending on how
Right.
high up that is.
Wait,
And then do
to
what?
what end? Yeah.
Stir her to death?
So that you can cast spells.
So that you can cast spells without being next to her.
Hey, where are you guys getting a drill from?
What
Waterdeep.
about-
Womford, that's what they're known for, is drills.
Drills and
Drills
something.
and summer dragon demon.
Maybe
So-
have drill
It's a home
demons. there.
hardware and
let me
water.
Or we could hope that summon a bullet which tunnels up and attacks. And if it tunnels up in the right spot,
Okay, now
it'll
listen.
be able
If,
to-
Right,
we
while
are
you guys
all
have
at
been
the
discussing
west
this plan, you're
entrance-
like quite close to Good Hug now. You've been like walking and talking for a few days about this. So
yeah.
were we to be at the
started
west
to
entrance, and we knock her and can get her through the floor, how do we then get down to her easily? Such that we're
Right.
not stuck upstairs dealing with that entire room full of crap. That's
I'll-
my work.
I tell you what, I'll stay downstairs, and then y'all handle the upstairs part.
Yeah, sure.
I'll be waiting.
So we floated a lot of plans while you were gone, Jim.
Yes.
Yeah, it put me in AFK. I didn't even realize it. And I thought it was quiet, and I was thinking, what the fuck's going on? And then I checked, and I was like, oh my god.
I was just in the process of messaging you, asking if you're coming back.
Yeah.
Would someone
yeah,
like
so
to summarize
basically,
how-
yeah, everyone they formulated a plan, and basically, it's like burn all the sheep.
Oh, okay. So going back to the. Okay. All right.
No. That was
That's
the one.
what
That was the
Aaron-
one plan that we
Well, that was the original plan, actually. That
Yeah,
was-
we've worked on a plan B, C, and D as well.
okay.
C was use the haversack and the bag of holding to yeet her into another. Plan B was weaken underneath her, maybe destroy the thing she's sitting on, and hope that her falling down crashes her through down below.
But
And
that
then-
would require us getting in there.
Yeah,
More,
back entrance.
Yeah, back entrance. Also underneath. We might be able to do it from underneath as well. Plan D seems to be head in from the west and try to just try to kill her as quick as humanly possible. I definitely floated a few other plans that didn't get lettering, such as polymorphing her into a chicken and hoping one of them just eats her.
Well, actually, if she
her
took
whole,
damage, though, it wouldn't.
then let polymorph.
Yeah, so I reckon if we were to polymorph her, throw her in the air, and then drop her.
Yeah, but the thing is, she would revert back. So even if somebody ate her, she would just explode that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well-
Then there was attrition. We could spend a while trying to use attrition to kill off. We could try starving them out, but that sounds like it probably wouldn't work. I believe someone mentioned lighting the sheep on fire.
I think it was Seb. Yeah, if we're gonna do one of these things, like, so either we need. What's the method for doing the floor?
I wanted to stop in Wamford on the way and get some oil as much as we could.
I feel like the floor requires us to do a couple of things. One, yeah, we want to break that thing she's sitting on to like drop her down onto the ground, and we want to weaken something around her so that she breaks it.
Well, Seb said that she's probably heavy enough that her falling would break through the floor anyway.
Do we want to set up spikes underneath there first, though?
Well, heck yeah. And then let's see. Yeah, like all around her.
She's on a contraption, right?
A wagon.
Do you think we could break that wagon from underneath?
Well, if the floor breaks, the wagon's gonna fall too.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if we just break the wagon. I'm wondering if we could break that wagon from under.
If that
Oh,
fall
there's a
would
floor
be
in the way,
enough.
so like, how do you do
Yeah.
that?
I mean,
True.
ideally,
There's
what
also
would
the like grates that we can see up.
ideally it'd be nice if we can polymorph her, then levitate her, and then do damage to
Yeah,
her
we can
while
do
she's
that.
in the air.
No one knows levitate.
Well, there's fly. We've got the fly thing, and someone
actually
can
do
just take
know
their scroll of
levitate.
fly. Someone just cast the scroll of fly. Get Lily to polymorph her, and someone grabs her and.
Some of these
Well,
plans are a
if
little
you can-
riskier than others.
So the
Like
best
I
thing to
said, we
do
could just
is to
bum her.
polymorph her, make her into a chicken, tie her up to the ceiling on a rope, and then take pot shots at her until she takes enough damage to drop to her form, and then she goes down hard.
How are we going to tie her to the roof while everybody's
Lose
attacking us?
Concentration.
Just run away with her,
Well, okay. I mean,
and then
Yeah.
do it. Yeah.
But she's on the west. Is there? Maybe we could break that. maybe we
Polymorph
could
lasts
break
1
that.
hour, so we can get like anywhere within an hour. Anywhere
Yeah.
we need.
I was just thinking maybe we could break that wagon under her, then run off.
well, that I don't think that's gonna.
We don't have a we've been talking about breaking the wagon, but we haven't actually had a way to break the wagon. Is the problem?
Or,
Right, it's
I
a
don't-
wagon,
I don't
right?
understand what the. I
Yeah,
don't
but like,
understand. I'm missing
how
what the benefit
broken
is
does
of
it have
breaking.
to be? You can't just
Yeah.
like
you
flick
don't.
it
You
and it
feel
just
like a
crumbles to
30-foot
pieces.
fall is not going to hurt her too much
Yeah.
as well.
So,
How do you reckon
But-
she'd float or sink? Because if we polymorphed her, just chuck her in the lake
well,
nearby.
I'm sure she can probably swim, or she'll float or something.
Yeah, spikes would help. But we still don't have a way to break the wagon. Like, what are we going to do to the wagon to break it? I can shoot an arrow at it.
Sorry, and how much of a fall is it to the bottom floor from the
30
top?
feet.
30 feet.
So it's
So-
pointless. The whole plan is pointless to get her to drop.
Okay, my plan for getting her to drop wasn't to kill her with the damage. It was to be down there and then kill her really fast when the room is not like bearing down on her.
But we still need to break the stuff.
So
And
you
there
just
haven't
said you shoot arrows. Like, is that something that can break a wagon? I don't even know.
No, I
Well,
doubt it.
What's the benefit of breaking the wagon?
She'll
But
fall
the-
a few feet, which will probably fall through the floor because she weighs 20,000 pounds. So if the
Well, she-
wagon,
she-
like,
Whether she weighs 20,000 pounds on a cart or on the floor makes no difference. The floor is still supporting either way.
It's the sudden hit of the floor.
yeah, if it's like sudden.
Oh,
You know, it's like staying there, steady. But if she were to jump a couple feet and then hit it, it would go through.
I don't know. I feel like there's got to be something that's just doesn't sound like. It sounds like a very risky,
Well,
very high risk.
If she
low-
fell through the
low reward
floor,
plan.
where would she be?
Downstairs, in the lower level.
Yeah.
Where nothing else is, except maybe us, with murderous intent.
Bunch of pigs.
Yeah, you wouldn't have like 20 goblinoids and giants attacking you at
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
So it
No,
would be
but
good
then-
if we got her down there.
But then
We just need
all
to.
the goblinoids would just run to the edge and just rain down arrows, and then the giants could just throw down rocks. We're still just sitting ducks. It's not like we can handle a barrage of anything. We can't.
Well-
We're not going to be able to handle any of that.
They'd only be able to throw down rocks if you were standing underneath the hole.
Yeah, because we can, like, a bunch of us can stand off to the side and attack.
Hmm.
Other side.
All right, which
So-
which direction are you guys approaching from this time? North is like the lake. East is, well, you guys know what east is like. South is from the farm area, and then west is where that guard tower is.
We've got a scroll of water breathing. We could all come through the lake.
I don't know how that helps though.
I've got heavy armor, so I can Pirates of the Caribbean it. Just that way we won't be seen.
Everyone take a
Go
vote.
from the east to-
north, east,
East
south,
to
or
come
west.
in from underneath.
Let's say
Doesn't the direction we come matter on what our plan is? Are we planning to come in, like, attacking from the west and hoping to, like, bum rush her down? Or are we trying to knock her below, so we want to be below, in which case from the east would be the way to go so that we can get to that. And I don't think any of the plans were north and south.
Yeah, so east / underneath is my vote.
All right, so east or west then? Which way do you guys want to come from? Like underneath or from the west and try and enter from the west of the building?
we can probably just go east and under.
So, guys, what's the end game here on this plan?
Shoot her with a bunch of stuff when she's alone,
Okay, and then
and then she's dead, and then they all break up because they don't have a leader.
well,
I don't think they like being here.
picking a leader for them is not going to be a problem. It's going to be the next biggest one and the next biggest one.
Yeah, but that was the only female, and they don't seem to like being here. They're kind of like, it seems like they're against.
Oh, okay.
So it seems like the
She
key is
stole that
dealing
one's
with
husband and
her.
brother.
Or we could start a Tinder page to catfish a bunch of female giants and then get them all together and send them off to Grudd to fight it out.
All right, we've got 2 votes for going east and approaching from the caves. So, anyone else like that idea?
Seems to be the. Yeah, if we get lost, we can
We've
come
got
through
one
the west
bad
instead.
idea.
That's a fair point, friend.
Yeah.
It went so well the last time.
I dropped in 1 round.
Yes. Well, that's why we're trying to get her to drop in 1 round.
The whole idea of not exposing ourselves to it. It's a big difference.
Was there dirt underneath it? No.
It was just caverns.
Yeah.
It's caverns that have been cleared out.
All right, we've got 2 bad ideas, 2 easts. So it's all on.
I mean, I feel like bad idea is a given no matter what idea we.
It's all on you,
Yeah, I
Lily.
don't. What's what?
Cast your vote, Lily.
I know you said
Do we know?
you said east underneath a solid plan. All right, you guys are approaching from the east.
We still haven't planned how to break the wagon or the floor, though. And, like, I don't have anything that can do it. I can hit the thing with a
Yeah.
stick or shoot
Do
it, or I
we have
can...
explosives or something? Or
Yeah, well,
is there something I missed?
no one really took a good look at the wagon, so you're not going to know.
Yeah.
So you can
Let me ask
get
you-
a look at that thing.
That it might work on it. I could speak to some animals. That might work.
Thomas, do you think from underneath you could get line of sight on that big lady and her?
From underneath, no, there's a floor there.
But there's the grates we can see up through.
Well, maybe.
I mean, it's like a 30-foot high roof, and then it's like crisscross wooden beams, so you can't really see much.
I can levitate you.
We just start burning it to weaken it, catch it on fire, and
All right, so you guys are approaching from the east, and how are you approaching?
we have stopped in Wallingford to get some oil.
Sure, you can buy oil. It's like it costs like pretty much nothing, so you can grab some oil.
How do we apply the oil if we're not coming in from the west?
Take Anders' slippers and then climb up the inside and put it on the floor
my
underneath. And
God, there we go.
All right, so are you guys
We can put the slippers on Thomas. He could just walk over there.
going to
we
take,
have a
this-
scroll of
take any
fire.
precautions for your
as well.
approach? Are you? How are you approaching? Are you gonna wait till day?
What
Are you gonna do like
what are we
nighttime
doing?
or?
We're trying to go in stealth, right? Down to the
Yeah, so
caves.
nighttime's
So
better.
that would be a nighttime stealth.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you guys wait till nighttime then, and you approach from the southeast. I'll get a group stealth check from everyone at advantage. As you guys approach from the lower, you see that the orc camp, it looks like it's been sort of rebuilt. And you see another blazing fire, and a few figures, a few sort of shadowy silhouettes moving around this campfire near the 5 tents. The tents of the one that was burnt, a couple that have been burned down, the new ones have been propped up. And you guys, with your group stealth check, you're able to approach unnoticed, and you sort of just sort of duck down now near this large rock near the sheep pen. And you're about 100 feet away from the orc encampment. Let's take we'll take a 10-minute break now. We'll take an 8-minute break, sure. And then we'll get back soon, and then we'll go from there. See you guys shortly. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Hey Seb, do you think there's any way Norn could join?
Oh, Norin, you've come at just the right time. Everyone
Run
was
away,
just
man.
deliberating
Run away.
For a little bit, just discovering a plan, and pretty much the mission is now to like burn all the sheep. So yes, perfect timing.
So
But-
we've come full circle to burning the sheep again. Okay.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
We
messing.
stack the sheep all the way up to the ceiling so they burn the floor.
We stocked up on oil.
Yeah, definitely jump on in, give yourself a long rest. So yeah, everyone had fled Haug, and now the party have sort of formulated a plan to try and get to Chief Gar and try and sort of segregate her and just lay waste to her and hope that with the defeat of Chief Gar, the enslaved male hill giants will just sort of flee. So that's the plan.
I give him his sword back and just be like, it's so much better with you than with
So as you guys approach, you've decided to approach at night, and this is your third approach to Grudd Haug. But this is the first time you've approached and have not alerted the entire den. So that's something. Well, actually, that could change because you will need to make a stealth check, Norin.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Actually, how many of... Let me see how many... You do have advantage. Actually, no. Even if you failed with the group check, only half the party have to succeed. Which has been done. 3 people succeeded the stealth check. So you've approached from the east now. You're on the lower level. It's nighttime. It's pitch black. You've sort of spotted this encampment of orcs. These ice shield orcs. And they seem to have sort of... They've definitely, build a new camp here. I don't know if everyone can see them, but sort of northwest of you guys is Grudd Haug. Thomas has cast Dark Vision on himself. Other than that, it's very, very dark. So those of you without Dark Vision, Rend and Norin, you're not really seeing anything.
Dark vision for everybody.
Okay.
Man, you missed the second assault.
Alright, Thomas cast Dark Vision and it alerts the guards and now they're all on alert. No, I'm joking. Alright, I presume you do that, with a wide berth for Grudd Haug, so you guys approach being able to see in the dark. So the sheep pens are like over here. There's like this 20-foot high wooden palisade that encloses the pen. You can hear the cacophony of bands. You also, Norin, the party had met with old Norbones and had gained a bit more like information about Harshnag and also learned about this Eye of the All-Father that you guys should seek out. It's a giant temple where you will learn the answers to stopping the giant uprising.
Alrighty. Cool.
Alright, you guys can all make perception checks. You can just see a few orcs sort of milling about this campfire in the middle of the stockyard. And you're counting numbers. Alright, Roderick, Rend, Dan, your perception checks are all high enough to try and count numbers. There seems to be at least 8, but a couple of them are moving in and out of tents. So at the very least, there's at least a dozen orcs here. Could be more. More than what they were stationed here last time. There was 10 here last time. There's like just hundreds of sheep in these penned yards. So yeah, Norin, you'd taken Roderick Hilltopple to this nearby farm, and also the other survivors, the farmers, and you'd sort of seen that they've gotten to safety now. You've just met back up with everyone.
Alrighty.
So yeah, you're currently undetected.
Is the plan really to set the sheep on fire? Or?
We had a lot of plans. You
Could
have
be.
to understand.
This could turn very
really
suddenly.
finish any of the plans, but
I think the plan is to get to Chief Gar and try and eliminate her as quick as possible.
So we have to take out all the orcs.
I thought we were trying to get past them.
Well, we're going underneath, so we can't get past them. Oh wait, there's that other entrance. Way
So look over here.
yeah, there's that entrance up there.
Yeah, you guys are all still stealth, so you don't need to like make more checks.
Alright, so we'll go up to that one then.
Already this is going better than the other 2 assaults.
We didn't set a high bar though.
Thomas could throw a fire, like, it's not too late, Thomas, if you want to fireball the sheep. Well,
Yeah, so I can't remember where exactly it was.
to the north of you guys, there's a heap of these, like, sort of menhirs, large rocks just sort of sticking up out of the ground here that giants have proudly sort of thrown here or placed in the ground. Giants love throwing rocks. You use the wooden palisade for cover. You can see a little bit of flickering torchlight towering above you in the watchtower, sort of far off to the northwest, and there is a bit of a glower coming from the actual steading. You move up and you just see this side entrance here. There is a glowing sconce and this large boulder that's being pushed aside. This leads into the giant's caves.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
It is nighttime, so those cots that there might be sleeping giants in them this time.
From what you can see, you can clearly sort of see from outside. There's no giants, but moving up into the first cave, you can hear something, some loud like scratching. Sounds like there is a giant to the west.
You need to take him out.
Or we can go north around him.
Do we want him? But the problem is, we don't want him coming up behind us while we're trying to do all our other shit.
Yeah, I think we probably can.
Is he walking around?
Alright, Rend, make me a perception check, and you too, Than.
Perception.
It's just it's a male hill giant. 16 foot tall. You recognize him, Than. It's Wonka. He's finally made his way back.
Oh god.
Oh god.
He just kept going east till he went around the world.
Buddy!
It's Wonka.
When you call out to him, he quickly goes over to one of these pallets and pulls out a club.
No, man.
Who there?
It's your old friends. You remember us?
Wonka must be stupid again. Ghost talking to me.
He looks around and you guys realize that you can't see in the dark. And you guys are sort of in the dark. But then he sort of sees Thomas.
Oh! Small folk!
Yeah, you were taking us to see Chief God.
Oh yeah! This what I did.
I just presume that this is being translated.
Yeah,
Don't you
me
remember-
take you to God because me give you for food, okay?
But don't you remember telling us that she treated you so badly?
Yeah, but she big and strongest. Me and Wonka must do what she says.
What if we
You don't-
found somebody bigger for you to follow?
And as you look at Wonka, he's got like blood all over him, and he's just got this like half a sheep carcass, just like he's torn it just straight into two with his bare hands, and he's just dangling down like next to him, so blood on his face.
So yeah, me have to give you to God for food. Okay?
But
What if
We already are bringing Gar food.
What if there was no Ga?
You're not allowed to bring God food. Me have to give to her. Then
What if we eat? What if we
She
eat
happy.
Ga? What if we eat Ga?
You not eat God. God eat you. Now, me gonna grab sack so you get inside, okay?
And he just
Come get me.
stomps over one of these pallets, and he just snatches up the pillow.
We have to kill him.
Case.
All right. Yep.
Okay. You get inside, and then me give you ga.
I'm in here. Come get me.
Oh, like game?
Yeah.
Where are you?
By the light. Go into the light.
He just like walks over to the light and he like grabs the torch sconce from the wall and he just like looks on like the gap in the wall. Hey, where are you?
I almost feel bad for him.
I know, right?
Yeah, kill him.
All right, you guys are gonna attack him.
Are we? Is that the plan? Can't we just like walk on?
Yeah, we can just sneak past him.
No, he wants to put us in a bag and take us up to Ga.
Yeah, but we don't want that, so we don't do what he wants, right?
Isn't that where you guys want to go?
Where?
The Gar?
Not to go.
In a
We
sack.
could.
Oh,
We could get eaten by Gar and then polymorph ourselves into like a T-Rex or something. Void out of her.
This is like a one-way sack mission if we do that.
Yeah,
It would-
I think the
it would
sack
get her
mission
up.
would be
You
even
know,
All right,
don't
it would definitely
kill
get
Ga,
it
we're
to us.
if you guys want to attack, I'll roll initiative, and you guys can make a group. You guys can make a group stealth check to try and surprise Wonka.
Oh man.
Do we? All right.
I'm so conflicted here.
Well, Norin's got a lot of time to think about it, so it's okay. Jesus.
Let's do the sack. Let's do the sack thing. Let's just go. Whatever
Or
happens,
no.
happens.
Oh, no.
That seems horrible.
All right.
Okay. All right. You guys don't have him surprised. He sort of looks around, like in the darkness somewhere, and you can like hear weapons being drawn and whatnot.
Hey! No more game! You get in the sack now!
He starts yelling. Rend,
Alright,
you're
sure.
up first.
All right. Sorry, Wonka. Run up.
You make Wonka mad!
I'm gonna go ahead and rage.
Me gonna wonk you!
We're afraid we're gonna have to put you in the sack.
Yeah, and a reckless attack.
That hits. And you just slice into Wonka's foot, just chopping off multiple toes, and he just screams, "Ah! Why you?" Crashes to the ground,
Once more.
face first. That hits. And you bring down the axe on him once again.
Well, come on. There you go.
And yeah, you just sort of stab into his shoulder. He's quite weak compared to some of the hill giants that you've fought, and he's already like quite hurt from that first lot of attacks. Roderick.
Since I was sneaking past him, I'm too far away to pick him, so just Sacred Flame. Oh.
Alright, your Sacred Flame. And he fails. Radiant energy falls down onto him, just sort of burning away his back. Lily.
I guess we will. Ding dong doom.
Alright, he's
Of
sort of
course.
yelling so loud it sort of blocks out the Dolores bell. Thomas.
I might hit somebody someday.
How did I put my pearl of power in the sling? And no.
That really should be how it works.
Alright, you shoot a firebolt at him and it just sort of smacks him in the face, singes off his eyebrows. Dan. You have advantage. And that hits. Alright, you just stab him in the neck. and he grabs the injury. He's like bleeding badly.
All right, and my turn.
Alright, he just screams, "Ah, you! You killed my sausages!" He looks down at his feet, and he just takes his club and he tries to hit you, Rend. Bad! He hits you for 8 bludgeoning damage. Bad! He swings again at you, Rend. And he hits you for 11 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah.
And it's his turn there. Norrin.
I gave you that sword back, Norn.
Yep. I'll run up and I'll use it.
That hits him. Alright, you slash him straight like in the knee, and it just like slices off one of his massive legs. It comes crashing to the ground.
Alright, let's see if we can finish him off.
He looks up at you. He's just like trying to bite you, and
Stab him in the mouth.
I stab him straight in the mouth, and you kill him instantly.
He's like the Black Knight. Just about a scratch. Hopping on one foot.
Well, that's that.
See if the pillow is refilled with coin.
Well, let's hope that all of his yelling did not alert any of the other giants.
Alright, you guys fell the giant and move on through.
So, are we going north or south? It looks like we're kind of dividing on here.
Well, I would think the room we want's on the north side, right?
Okay.
Yeah, go for it. I can't really remember my way around here, so.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna pretend I remember.
I'm keeping an eye out for bugbears.
You can hear a bit of oinking up ahead.
Oh, the boars are still there too.
I feel like they jump us every.
And yeah, there's a couple of boars here, but this time they're eating, and they're just devouring the innards of some desiccated pigs. Feasting on pig entrails. You start to hear the cacophony of oinking pigs now up ahead as you approach Oinka Boinka's pig pen. Minus the Oinka Boinka. And there are these crisscrossed wooden beams with motes of light draining through them, filtering onto a small portion of these pigs. Hundreds and hundreds of pigs. The ground is just earthen, muddy, quite peaty as you walk through it, and there are just scores of these fat pigs snorting, waddling about, wallowing in the mud, gorging themselves on these overflowing wooden troughs.
So is this the room that we actually want?
This
No, I
Because-
think it's to the west.
No, because if here's the holes. I know the room that we were in had the holes.
I think it was past it.
Yeah, so it's
Hey.
just further west.
I got a question. Which way? This water? Which way is it flowing?
Flowing to the south.
Flowing to the south.
Yep.
So to the north would mean is where the lake is.
Yes. You can see some of the stream being fed through a channel against the northern wall here. This is where the
does it look
prisoners were
like-
kept.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's.
Does it look like is the waterway barricaded, or could you
To the
go
north?
upstream?
You could
Yeah.
swim up there. It's quite a wide channel.
Okay, and it looks like it's clear to go through.
You just see
No.
water just sort of gushing through quite liberally. Then
Yeah.
it's like a little mini waterfall that just sort of churns down here, and
Okay.
yeah, there's like a little underground stream.
And the water was how deep again?
You're not sure, but you feel like you should cross at the bridge, unless you want to go for a swim.
I can jump. That's no problem there. But I'm just curious about how deep it is. Not for my safety, just curiosity.
You can make an investigation check. It's very hard to tell. You can't
Okay.
just see the bottom. There's like a
But
bit of a
I
channel
can't.
here.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you could just
Prod.
like jump in and that's what the investigation check's for. All right, you take a look, Than, and you just sort of feel the waters, and about 8 feet deep. So, like, there's been an actual channel sort of carved through here to allow the water to flow through. And then these are just tiny little trickles that pretty much just run along the surface of the ground. Alright, so looking around, there are these... the ceiling is 30 feet high, and there are timber pillars caked with mud, like sort of over here, and they support the ceiling. And there are these circular holes cut into the ceiling, crisscrossing wooden beams covering the holes. And yeah, you can hear sort of some noise coming from up there, and there's like a horrible smell of sort of smoke, and sounds like the hill giants are sort of having a bit of a banter up above you guys. Feasting.
How did we
So
get west to the left?
there is a way to go up and look through the grates, right? And to get an
If you
idea
could
of where.
fly,
The grades are here, like above the.
they're 30 feet
What?
above you.
We have somebody had spider climb slippers.
And has those.
20-foot
I
diameter
mean, Carl
circular
has them
hole.
on his pet.
And it's sort of all covered in like mud cement. They use like mud bricks and clay and whatnot. Build a lot of this stuff.
I've got another way you could do it. Just rope trick to get the rope to hold itself up.
Okay.
Alright, Thomas, make me a stealth check. As you come around the corner here, there is a male hill giant. Another one. And he's just sort of pulling apart some pig limbs. You can sort of see him underneath the torchlight, but he doesn't realize that you're there. He's just got some winkers and he's ripping them apart, and he's got like this jagged looking knife and he's just sawing into them. He's completely covered in blood. He doesn't wear an apron or anything like Slub. This guy is just like he's the new butcher in town.
Whisper, there's another giant up by the ladder.
I don't even know where the hell y'all are. Oh, never mind. I see you
It's
now.
around here.
So this is the fence. Follow the barking. That's Roderick barking.
I cast speak with animals, but I thought they were actually dogs, not pigs. So.
Yeah. I have no idea where Thomas is. So
Oh, he got eaten by that giant that he found.
He's up the ramp. So there's this
Oh, it's a ramp.
10-foot high earthen ramp leading up around here. They are, I think, you missed this, Norin, but the party had been through here and sort of cleared everything out. There was like an Etten, like a pig herder and a hill giant butcher. The party had found like quite a substantial amount of treasure as well. Alright, I'll get a group stealth check from everyone now. Okay, you guys are good. So you sort of make your way around the corner, and there's just a single male hill giant covered in viscera and gore and blood, and he's just chopping up some pigs. They're like not even. He's just hacking into them, severing them, and just covered in meat and just blood, and like scooping up buckets of pig.
So do you want to murder him?
Does it seem like he's alone?
As far as you can tell, yeah. There is these like sconces illuminating what he's doing, as well as another section to the south. But yeah, he's just sort of licking his fingers, and he like takes a bit of like the meat and holds it up to the torch sconce to cook it a little bit, and stuffs it in his mouth as he's working.
And the grates are close by for upstairs.
The grates are upstairs or in the pig pen area where you guys just were.
Okay. So
there's no grate. There's no hole. No holes in the ceiling here except for one with a ladder, which just leads up into like a cylindrical hole. It doesn't actually have any wooden beams or anything.
Which is further back.
Which is behind him, over in this direction.
Is there any way we can lure him in somehow? Can maybe
just command him.
Could use the
I was thinking about, does minor illusion do sound?
Yeah, you can.
What if we
speak in someone else's voice? I could do the queen's voice.
Or how about the dude we just killed in his voice?
I might argue with him.
Like, come quick, lots of food.
Could tell him that that we have found some things for our stuff.
You guys he's not like aware that you're there, so you're all in the darkness.
You can just surprise him.
Yeah, you could surprise him. You could move up, like go underneath the tables and come up around behind him. As long as you stay in the darkness. He seems quite preoccupied with what he's doing, and the sounds of pigs are just like drowning out any sort of ambient sound in the area.
So yeah, through this bridge is not illuminated.
I like rabbit drizzler.
Let's throw him a surprise party.
All right, let's do it.
Alrighty, you guys move up around him, and yeah, he's completely none the wiser that you guys are here, so he is surprised. Alright, Lily. So this table that you're standing underneath, Lily, it's like 8 times the size of what you'd expect a table to be, so you can like easily stand underneath it.
Okay.
There's just big piles of gore and bones and all sorts of disgusting filth at the base of the legs.
I think I don't want to be the one to start the ambush, so I'm gonna hold a ding dong doom until I see somebody else whack him.
Okay.
You're gonna roll low on the second roll for it, so.
Yeah, then it'll actually land.
Alright, Thomas.
Alright. Just point my finger at him and tell him.
Alright, even with advantage, Thomas, you actually miss. And the firebolt, it pretty much just whizzes on by and poof, hits the wall. And he sort of looks up in that direction. And he looks at the torch sconce. And he starts speaking to it. How do you do that?
Let's try shooting him.
Alright, Roderick, you're unseen from him. So you have advantage.
Yep, so my hunter's marks do 1 damage apparently. It's 4 in a row.
You stick an arrow into his leg. And he sort of swats his leg. Ow!
And another one. That's nice.
And then you shoot like an arrow into his hand as it's swatting his leg, and sort of sticks his hand to his leg. And he just yells, "Ow!" And he like rips like the arrow in his hand free, and just like blood just pulls out everywhere. And he keeps on like he bangs the torch sconce. Hey! Like, and you just sink another arrow into the table. Well, you hit a pig. You hit a stray pig, Roderick.
Didn't like that one anyway.
He just starts yelling at the torch sconce. Why do you do that? Alright.
Alright.
And Lily, you can use
your.
your reaction.
I technically said when someone whacks him, so I was gonna wait for a melee attack to hit him.
Okay.
I'm gonna run up and I'm gonna
Just because of the way I said it.
swipe at him from underneath the table here.
That hits. Alright, you just slash him across the Achilles and he just falls down. Back first on the ground and his head is just sort of facing you. And he sort of looks at you. Oh! That's how I got that!
That'll count for what somebody whacking him.
Alright, and then he sort of screams out as that Toll of the Dead affects him.
And I'll swing again.
And that hits. And you just stab the longsword into his shoulder. And he's pretty badly hurt.
I'm gonna put my unwavering mark on him.
Okay.
And no bonus action, that's my turn.
Ren.
Alright. He seems pretty hurt. I'm just gonna attack him. He's prone, so it's advantage, right?
Yep.
Alright.
That hits. And you slash him across his arm.
Oh, that's cool. You built the 2d6 right into the thing, huh?
Yeah. Well, Seb did.
That hits.
Exact same roll both times.
Holy crap.
And you bring the axe down on his head, Rend, and just breaks through his skull, killing him instantly. That is the end of Meaty Balls.
Meaty balls.
You've never even learned his name.
We're all the worse off for it.
That was very well done.
See how well that went? Think last week, imagine the exact opposite of that.
It's like the exact same, except Seb's the one doing it.
Yeah.
There's a room full of them, too.
Yeah.
So, where
If
from
we look up, we see the ceiling above us is made out of wood. Is it?
This is just
so
a hole
that-
in the ceiling, 30 foot above you, a 20-foot diameter hole, and you can just see some light sort of glowing from above. Just a massive ladder. The rungs are spaced several feet apart. So yeah, you'll have to jump from rung to rung because this is a giant-sized ladder.
But that's not the holy one, is it?
Yeah, but is
there another one?
The ceiling above us is wood, right?
The ceiling above you is made from mud brick.
Oh damn!
And it's also pretty much. I mean, the actual cave. It's made of sandstone, and then where there have been grooves cut in, it's reinforced with sort of mud concrete, mud brick, and clay.
So I have another question here about this waterway. So this waterway is separate from the other one?
Yeah, just a stream gushing through the cliffside.
And it's
forming a dam.
Same thing. It's flowing south.
Yep, flowing to the south. I'll show you the handout. You can actually get a good idea of exactly how it's running with that handout. You see how there's they've sort of dammed it up at the base of it. So the actual cave is pretty much it's carved straight out of the cliffside. This cave that you're in, you're underneath that building.
Okay, right. So there's two looks like 2 bigger size ones, and that's dammed up. Right. So basically, they're bringing water in to feed the livestock. Is that what's happening, more or less?
Yeah, they have fresh water running through.
All right. So before we attack, before we do anything, I'd like to cast Water Walk on everyone, just so you know. So we have an alternate form of escape, if needed.
And I will pull out my familiar.
Are you doing that as a ritual, or are you just casting it?
I'll definitely ritual cast it if I can.
Do you have it prepared?
I do have it prepared.
Okay, then yeah, you can do it as a ritual. And that gives everyone the ability to walk on water for 1 hour. Alright. Yep, you sit tight, do the ritual. During that 10-minute period, there's no activity here.
I thought we wanted the holes in the other room, though. Am I confused?
We probably do, yeah.
I think that's accurate. I was thinking we don't really know where she is, right? So if we're going to weaken the floor below her,
Yeah.
don't we need to find out
what
where
the,
she is?
That's what the familiar's for, to look up through the hole.
Ah, gotcha.
So if we go back into the other room,
Oh. Somebody turned the lights on.
apparently, yeah, the light got turned on.
Apparently, Haug. Oh,
Hey,
you guys
you
can all
brings the
see
light.
that? I don't know why that is.
Yeah,
like-
we can all see.
Yeah,
Bright as
I
day.
could move Hayu around.
Oh,
I have full control.
Haug's
Oh, never mind.
being a whore. No. Alright. Oh, yeah, apparently.
Hey, you
Oh,
is
that
now
must have
mine.
been from like another scout mission. There we go. Lights are off.
Aw,
So if you send
it's good while it
a
lasted.
to one of these, you can find out how far it is to the floor.
Well, above you, you see crisscross wooden beams, 30 feet overhead. I'll show you the Oinka Boinka handout again because you can get a good idea of what it looks like.
Yep.
And then you can see
Okay,
just
so you
like
can-
clearly, like it just leads straight up into the steading.
Yep. So we probably can actually see where Grudd is, where that lady
Well,
is from.
It's 30 feet overhead, so I mean, for you guys, it's 3 stories up above, so you're just seeing a glimpse.
Okay.
Maybe you'll see an arm or something go past, or
Send Hayo up to be closest to that.
Yeah, I can do that.
all right. You send Hayu up to that one, and Hayu can make a stealth check.
I'm gonna guidance on Hayu.
Okay. Before Hayu goes up, you quickly grab it and slap the bird over the face.
Be careful.
And
Ooh.
all right,
Oh my God.
hey, Hayu, are you controlling Hayu? Like, are you seeing through Hayu's eyes, Lily?
Not current. Well, yeah, I am, but I don't currently have sight.
Okay. All right. Make a dexterity check for Hayu.
Sorry, make a what?
Dexterity check for Hayu.
Sure. It's just Dex, right?
Yep. All right. Hayu flies up through the slats, and she arrives.
Doesn't have to go through it. It can just be like underneath it.
Didn't she want to see what's up in there? I thought that
Yeah,
was-
but
That was the whole
can't
point.
she like be just
Go
just below them and look through?
and she will see like the ceiling.
Yeah.
Wherever she needs to go for
It's like
me to
you
be
can
able
look
to
kind of on an
see
angle,
through her
right?
eyes.
Give her a periscope.
Yeah, just
All right.
just on
Hayu.
this, it looks like you can kind of see on an angle anyway, because they're like pretty big, and Hayo's like a small owl compared to however big those
Well,
slats are.
it's Lily's familiar, so Lily decides what Hayu does.
If I'm seeing through Hayes' eyes, I'm going up as far as is necessary to be able to see, kind of, because we're looking for where the big lady is. So that's what I'm trying to find.
All right.
So I don't know. You tell me how high that needs to be. That's how high.
Yeah. Oh, first of all, Hayu is spotted because she failed her self check. All right. So she flutters up enough to sort of peer up above to see what's up there, and she arrives in the feasting hall. Looking around, she's about 20 feet away from Chief Ga, and she's like 15 feet away from a hill giant. And she sort of flutters up just enough. She tries to remain silent, but she ends up giving away her location. She does a who accidentally.
That's okay.
So
Not a
so she's back to the west. So she's on like the western section of the actual main feasting hall. 25 feet away from Gudd's wagon. And as the owl flutters up, immediately a male hill giant standing next to Gar, offering her some food, spots Hayu. And he sort of smiles. Oh! Chicken! And he just smashes Hayu with a club. Beating Hayu with speed in initiative and kills Hayu. Well, I'll give Hayu the benefit of the doubt of a couple of attacks. So, yeah.
The one is funny though.
Yeah, Hayu gets hit with the club, and yeah, well, you achieved what you wanted to. You found out exactly where that leads up to. So
yep.
From the she's like there seemed to be the same, like the second that she was up there, she saw the same sort of numbers. 5 male hill giants, Chief Gar, some goblins along the rafters, a few ogres here and there, and then big fat Chief Gar just gorging herself, drinking, slobbering, sweating, and then you just hear this voice, "Oh, chicken!" And suddenly you see a large shadow loom over this area, and a hill giant sort of peers down, just sort of pushing his nose and one of his eyeballs through the slats.
Are you keeping stats on average time from summon to death?
It certainly has gotten shorter.
Yeah. If Hayu had been stealthier and quicker, she would have survived.
You know what? In defense, Hayu's rolls have been very shitty in a lot of the uses.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty much a dexterity versus perception, a stealth versus perception, and then dexterity for initiative.
Even last time, there was very similar rolls going on.
You need to get that bird fixed. And yeah, the hill giant just looks down to see what happened to the owl, and then his head comes away, and he just,
Put it in a bag, return it. Dead owl.
Disappeared.
Yep. Yeah, well, it just disappears because that's what familiars do. It didn't arouse any like suspicion or anything like that.
Alright, so roughly where I drew that X is where we saw the big lady.
A bit further to the west. It
And
would
is there
be
any way to
on the ramp.
climb up?
No?
More
It's
on the
just
ramp.
a hole in the ceiling. Yeah.
No, I mean to the rafters that are there, the cross beams that are right up.
Oh, that it's like a catwalk. Yeah, there are some ladders running around the outskirts of that main feast hall, but you only see goblins atop there, and you suspect it's probably because goblins are getting like stomped on or squashed or something, so they've got their own little.
So, what's the architecture like here, from floor to ceiling, and how is the roof supported from this point?
It's a cave. So,
okay.
Yeah, limestone or sandstone, sorry. And there's just like mud, sort of cement, sort of caked around where these like holes have been carved, and then there are these large mud brick support beams, sort of around here and there.
All right then. So the plan was to what exactly?
Well, we thought the floor was wood, so we were gonna burn it. But
The floor is laid with wood, but then it's also on this layer of the actual sandstone of the this area.
Well, if we had stone to mud, we'd have something going for us here, but we don't have that. So, I think we're SOL here, guys.
Yeah, all in all, this place does not seem very flammable at all. Fire would not be the way to go.
Yeah, so I guess
Yeah,
maybe
for the
we go up
sheep.
the ladder, huh? Come in through the west. Plan B.
What if you used your decanter? Would that water gushing onto the bottom of the place make it do anything?
Get wet.
But if it was... Okay.
Do we know where that large ladder leads? Have we been up that?
Someone told us a kitchen, so I think it's the room right behind her, which would this layout.
Do we want to try to
So-
go into there?
It's either the ladder or go back out and around to the west.
The ladder is how far away? Quite a ways.
It's going to be a hard climb too.
Not too difficult if you take your time. It'll be slow going.
The ladder's quite a ways away from where she is. Like
Oh,
quite a
from
ways.
her. Yeah.
Outside would probably be just as far, right?
Yeah. If the top of the ladder is what was it again? The top of the ladder?
It's just a hole cut straight through the floor, and you can see
Is
like
there
a
light
room.
coming through it?
Yep, there's light streaming down. I'll put a bit of light there, and yeah, there's just a room. It's like the inside of the steading.
Should I go up and check it out? Just see? I'll try to go as quietly as possible.
I can send an owl if we want to sacrifice another one.
Take an hour to summon it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I'm gonna try to quietly go up there without
Alright.
illumination of any kind whatsoever.
Yeah, it's you move at about 1/3 your normal speed up the ladder because the rungs are spaced 3 feet apart, and then you just sort of climb up from rung to rung. It's not difficult. You don't need any ability check, and
Okay.
make a stealth check. Then you arrive at the top of the ladder.
Okay, I'll definitely guidance myself on this one.
If you guidance yourself, that'll give away your location because that makes noise. I think it has verbal components.
Okay. How long did it take me to go up there? Can I guidance myself before the climb?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll retcon that so you did it beforehand. Alright, so you climb up to the top of this ladder and there's no one there. It's quite dark. And as you look around with your low light vision, you can see a number of hooks protruding from the walls. The floor is stained with pools of blood, some dry, some still moist. There are flies buzzing about, large maggots squirming about, and yeah, the hole is 20-foot diameter. You can sort of just see the ground below you, and it looks like a larder. All of these hooks are caked with blood, and you can hear a bit of goblin chatter, and you feel like you can hear like a crackling fire and a bit of heat coming from an entrance to the east here. Bit of goblin chatter.
And these hooks are like they look like they're huge. So they're huge hooks.
Oh, they're giant-sized hook. Each one is a good 22 feet above the ground. Like they'll be for giants to
And-
put meat on.
Oh, okay. So what kind of meat would go on these giant hooks? Just
Maybe halflings, some elves.
oh, okay. So they're putting in. Okay, all right.
There's no meat currently on them. They're covered with
Okay.
blood, but yeah,
There's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4,
maybe a
5,
fan.
6. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us. Perfect. There's 6 hooks here, guys. I don't say that out loud. Awesome. So
I wonder if there's
I'll
a
climb
hooker
back
up
down.
up there to hang us up.
Have you found the elf chick?
The what?
The elf girl that we had. Is she in there?
I,
Like hanging out, maybe?
She's not, unfortunately. That would have been awesome if she was, but she must have already been eaten.
okay. Well, I think I've seen enough and heard enough at this point. I'm not gonna try to stealth around too much. To go down and just let everybody know what I saw.
Okay, move you back down there.
Yeah. There's 6 meat hooks. Ironically, empty.
And then there's just like
Is there
a doorway to the east.
Doorway to the east, goblins. So that's basically what's happening there. If we go up that way, we're definitely gonna come across some goblins, and then who knows what happens. But we can try. As long as we clear the way, then we have an escape route to come down here. Does this seem like I don't know, does it seem like that's like a plan we want to do?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Let's do it.
All right.
Wait, we went up the ladder?
Up the ladder and approach from behind
All right.
as best we can.
Put your order that you guys are going up the ladder, starting at Than and making your way to the north. So like Than would be first, then second, third.
I'll go right behind Dan.
And Lily and Rend.
Well, I'll save her swap for
You're going
ranks.
up
I guess I'm in the
at
rear.
the front. Yeah, 2 of you could easily go side by side. Okay. Alright, you guys head up and give me a group stealth check.
Some pretty solid rolls there.
Oh, you guys are good. Again, only half of you need to make it. Alright, you haven't seemed to have been detected by the goblins. You arrive at the top of the ladder, and you can jump up on the hooks and impale yourselves.
Might as well just assume the positions, yeah. Just why make them do it for
This is obviously the ladder, blood everywhere, hooks, and then a 20-foot wide doorway, just leading into a room where you can hear some goblins chirping and whatnot. Right. Creeping around the corner, you see the kitchen, and the goblins are hard at work. This place is filthy. The floor is just covered with mud. You can't even see the floor, it's just mud. There are dirty pots, there's leftover food, crawling with maggots piled on tables. There is this crackling fire raging in a dome-shaped fireplace to the north. And you see 4 goblins. They are turning a wooden spit while one of them stokes the fire, 2 of them turning this spit, and you see a perfectly cooked female elf on the spit.
Oh god. It's shit.
Cylinder.
That's 300 gold down the drain.
And one of them is just getting some like seasoning and stuff and just like basting her. He's got like this big straw broom and he's like dipping some liquid into her and like wiping it all over her as she turns, cooked like succulently to perfection. Then the goblin sort of says, "Stop! Stop! Stop!" And he gets like this rotten apple and he sticks it in her mouth.
This is Operation Get Our Bow Back.
Jesus.
She wasn't using it. She was using the
I know. It's just an ongoing joke.
Yeah, the goblins are completely oblivious
Accurate.
to your presence. That you do notice, there is a curtained off section to the east here. Well, let me just illuminate this torch sconce a little bit. It's been lit like fairly recently. So give you guys a bit more light here in this room. So yeah, you can see a red curtain sort of blocking off a doorway to the east here as well, and that must lead to the main feast hall. There's also a wide passage to the north and sort of like a clay wall surrounding the oven.
I've got an idea. If we need to keep this quiet, is there any way? So there's 4 goblins?
Yeah.
Right, so I can cast a silent spell on top of them. And either we throw in...
We just murder them.
Yeah,
definitely.
We can do something like that. So I don't know if that's gonna help, but I'm willing to do that.
I feel like if you guys don't do any like particularly noisy spells, nothing in the surrounding area should hear. Like you guys take down a few goblins.
Last time I suggested that to a group, Wizard cast Thunderwave.
Well, with the silence spell,
yeah, it would work. It would help.
Yeah, that would guarantee.
Also, silence does prevent Thunderwave from doing anything.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But no, like it was like, hey guys, we should like take these guys out quietly. And he walks in, and he's like, oh, they're in a group. I'll cast Thunderwave. Oh, you get noises from further in the cavern.
All right, I'll roll initiative. You guys have the goblins surprised. They're just cooking up a storm. One of them's got this like weird looking cookbook in his hand. He's got it upside down. And he's like looking at it and pointing at her, just yelling things out. And then they start arguing, fighting over the one of them grabs the broom and like starts hitting the other one with it, and they just start like arguing and whatnot.
So I'll move my hunter's mark onto this guy because he's not obscured, and I will shoot him.
All right. From where you are, Roderick, let me just... I think you may be...
I think that's outside.
Illuminated. Let me just check.
It's kind of hard to see when you got dark vision where the edge is.
Yeah, you're actually in the bright light. You take a shot at the goblin, and because of this fire, you actually miss.
Are they surprised or no?
Oh, I can't actually see the light from that fire. That fire here shows like...
Oh, okay.
Looks like he's in the dark.
I could only see the where he is from this one.
Yeah, it's supposed to be more light, but presume that it should be contained within there. All right, so you're invisible. So you hit, and you just take the goblin straight out anyway.
I'll go for another one.
And which one are you attacking?
I'll go for the fire one again.
Alright, that arrow hits him. But it doesn't kill him.
Alright. I'll take another... actually, I'll take a shot at this guy. The Dread Ambusher.
And you just headshot the goblin, taking him out as well. Lily.
Let's see. So I see this goblin here, and is this guy damaged?
Yes.
Okay. And then the question I have for you, you said as long as you don't do any noisy spells, Ray of Frost and Toll the Dead, are they considered?
Toll the Dead is literally, by definition, a noisy spell. Ray of Frost, not so noisy.
Okay. Let me measure something then. 1 second. Yeah, in fact, I'm going to back up to max range and fire it.
Also, anything with thunder damage is noisy.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire that damage. If I can ever find where my thing is.
That's a direct hit. You fire a ray of frost and just a shard of ice hits him in the neck, killing him.
To last 10 feet and call that.
Alright, the goblin's just still looking at this cookbook upside down, and he's like yelling to the other goblins. And then he sort of looks over the book and just sees himself surrounded by dead goblins. Than.
All right, I will. I'll just run up to him and dash, bonus action dash, and I'll just attack him with a short sword.
And he sort of ducks inadvertently as he's looking down at the other dead goblins, and you just sort of stab over his head. As you draw the sword back, his head sort of pops back up and he looks at you. And his eyes widen in panic.
Alright, and I guess I'll end my turn.
Rand.
Alright. Yeah, I'll run up here and just attack him.
And that hits.
Goodbye,
You just sort of slash him, lift him off of his feet, and he just like goes into the oven.
Nice.
So the other body's in the oven, so they're not flying around.
Alright, you toss the rest of the goblins in there. And then you hear this loud booming voice. Smells tasty! Coming from behind this curtain when the smell of burning goblin permeates the air. And that's where that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Disguise yourself as a goblin and take one of the food out there to her.
I mean, I can't do that. I have disguised self.
There you go.
I can do it as a furball once per day.
You can hear like the wagon creaking excitedly as that burning goblin smell just wafts over everyone. Okay. All right, so a lot better approach for this third time. So next week, I'm hoping Anders is going to be here. I thought he was only going to miss a couple of sessions, but we'll see.
I don't know what you guys were talking about. That felt pretty easy.
You haven't walked into the next room yet.
know.
Yeah, you have no idea. You have no idea.
That's why I'm not touching that curtain.
You should like Ren ran in like to the main hall and got unloaded by like 8 rocks or something and just like dropped immediately from rage to 0. And the only reason he survived, the only reason he survived is because he rolled a natural 20 on his death save and got back up.
What a badass!
And it had like there was even like a heap of goblins like ready with arrows to like unload on him, but Lily did a sleet storm, so it sort of obscured him, so they couldn't shoot him.
Damn, good timing.
But so if you guys manage to overcome this steeding, then you'll be level 8. So that may happen partway through next session. So just keep in mind that you'll be hitting level 8. Have a look what you'll get and whatever spells you might want. And also, happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas. I hope everyone has a nice time.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
You too?
Merry Christmas.
And we're not playing next week, right? Or are we?
Yeah, there is. The next game is scheduled for next week.
Oh, okay, cool.
Unless, like, lots of people can't make it. But we'll just play it by ear. So, yeah. Everyone have fun. Stay safe, take care, and, yeah. I don't know what to say.
Have a good holiday, guys.
I was going to
Later,
say
everybody.
something funny, but I just got nothing. Night, guys. Bye bye.
So, yeah.